better than us that day. So this new game, new challenge, like always. So we will see.
And Sergei Kirovic actually faces a late challenge in this game that's due to kick off in 5 minutes. Breaking team news, there is one change to the starting 11 that was announced an hour ago, and that change, Matt Crooks drops out of the starting 11, in fact drops out of the team altogether, with substitute, or at least named substitute, Casey Palmer coming in for a start. We'll try and establish after the game the reasons behind that, but no Matt Crooks in the starting 11 for Hull City this afternoon, and not even on the bench. The club likely to run with a slightly shorter bench given the lateness of that decision. We'll find out the reasons why after the game. We kick off on what is a very, very sparsely populated MKM Stadium in under 5 minutes' time.
Good morning, it's me, your friendly neighbourhood smile maker.
Kofi Smiles at breakfast.
What's going on? Has this ever happened to you?
I've even had dated cheques for the future that can't be paid in until the date on the cheque.
What were you thinking? What was going through your head?
I mean, at the end of the day, a smile is priceless. You put profit on anything, but you can't put profit on a smile.
They come up with questions like, which is your favourite superhero?
What did you say? I'm curious now.
I think it was Spider-Man.
Great choice.
You're asking the wrong person.
I know. I thought I'd roll the dice and see, but I think I knew what the answer was going to be.
Kofi Smiles at breakfast.
Weekday mornings from 6.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Humberside.
Every game live. BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Premier League leaders Arsenal are now 2-1 up at Portsmouth through Gabriel Martinelli. Arsenal went 1-0 down after 3 minutes with a goal from Colby Bishop. Leeds United already through. They've beaten Derby County by 3-1. The big question is, can the Tigers join the Mariners in the fourth round of the FA Cup? Alongside James Fletcher this afternoon is former record signing Peter Swan, back on commentary duties once again for commentary of Hull City against Blackburn Rovers on all frequencies and on BBC Sounds here at the MKM Stadium.
Thank you very much, James. And the teams are just making their way out onto this MKM Stadium pitch. No ice or snow to worry about this weekend, but can the Tigers tame Blackburn, get revenge, as Sergei Yakirovic gestured in his pre-match discussions with us on Friday afternoon. The Tigers have got a long run of defeats to their name in cup competitions. You have to go back to the season of behind closed doors when the Tigers were able to last pick up a victory in the EFL Trophy against Fleetwood. 11 games have been and gone, the longest run in the Tigers' history without success. Can a depleted Blackburn Rovers be the ones to give Hull City some joy in January on what is one of the most famous weekends in the English football calendar? It hasn't disappointed yesterday, with the likes of Macclesfield possibly creating the biggest cup upset in the history of this competition. A competition that Hull City have never won, but Blackburn have been triumphant on 6 different occasions. Now the team news for the Tigers. Sergei Yakirovic hinted that he would remain as strong as possible for today without taking any risks. As James mentions just ahead of kick-off, no Matt Crooks, who was due to start this fixture. Casey Palmer comes in for him, so it's 4 changes in the end from the named team against Watford that never went ahead. A change in goal, as you would expect, in Dylan Phillips. The back 4 of Louis Coyle, Charlie Hughes, Hakim Famewa and Cody Drame. We expect Coyle on the left and Drame on the right. Then it's Amir Hadjimetovic, Darko JB and Casey Palmer are the midfield 3, with Joe Lendala, Liam Miller and Ollie McBurney up front. That shows really just how strong and how serious Sergei Yakirovic and his backroom staff are taking this. On the bench, Eva Pando, David Akintola, John Egan, Matty Jacob, Carl Joseph, Regan Slater, Hugh Parker, and the man who made his debut against Blackburn earlier this season, Carthel McCarthy, in an 8-man bench. Blackburn make 8 changes to their side, which got a point against Charlton Athletic. The feeling is they're a bit bereft of confidence and bereft of fitness going into this game. Valian Ismail, their manager, saying he has to take players out to preserve them for the league campaign. Ballas Toff is their goalkeeper. They've got 3 in defence of Tom Aitchison, Connor O'Riordan and Ethan Cashin, who's come in on loan from Birmingham City. A midfield 4, Taylor Gardner-Hickman, Dion Deneve, Christy Montgomery, Axel Henriksson, Nathan Dalmini and Brandon Powell are the 11 in dark British racing green for Blackburn Rovers this afternoon. Sean McLaughlin, the former Tiger, on the bench. Nicholas Malkowski, Harry Pickering, Yuri Ribeiro, Sean McLaughlin, Yuki Oshoi, Musa Jiraji, Igor Tyhan, George Pratt and Aidan Doherty are on the bench for the visitors. Will Finney, today's referee, gives the first free kick of the day just inside the Blackburn half, which Palmer, the former Blackburn man, will take. And the Tigers in early possession, an opportunity to bring in former record signing Peter Swan for this FA Cup third round tie.
Feels like a pre-season game, atmosphere-wise, doesn't it?
It's
feels
not
that we're all talking up at the FA Cup and how important it is. It ain't to a lot of people, though, is it? It is to the players, but like to a lot of people, it's not turned up today. There's reasons for it.
Well, the attendance will probably be not too far away from what happened at the Moss Rose yesterday, with Macclesfield knocking out the holders Crystal Palace, as Famewa has possession on the left side of defence. Back to Coyle, and he'll dab it back towards Phillips in his highlighter green kit. Just his second appearance for the Tigers, having played against Wrexham earlier in the year. Trying to pick out Liam Miller with a long diagonal, headed by Blackburn and brought down by Palmer in centre field. Slide tackle comes in from Blackburn. Hughes collects under pressure from Blamini, the young striker. Hughes holds him off for now, knocks it back towards the keeper, who again goes direct, looking for Ndala, who strayed into an offside position in front of Sergei Yakirovich. Hood up, plenty of honours to his name as a player and a manager. His first taste of the FA Cup, and giving an insight into how he watched it growing up as a player, and just showing how important it is to the continent, as well as Cashin from the free kick just inside the Blackburn half. Goes diagonal right, picked out by Coyle. Miller under pressure. Blackburn in the final third for the first time, with Miller, their captain, the Australian international. Now into Gardner-Hickman, just to the right of centre. Cut out by Miller, and Palmer can maybe launch a counter. Just rides off one challenge, and Palmer now wrestling his way through into the Blackburn half. Wins a free kick as well, trying to steamroller his way through. And that's an opportunity maybe for City to just creep a little bit further forward.
Yeah, we'd never favour it to get past the second player, but I think for some reason it seemed to jump on his back and got the free kick himself. Like I say, he saw what we were trying to do, but 2 or 3 occasions he could have got the ball away. But once you get your head down there, you see that dribble, you're just trying to feet just to get away from the last one, as we try and make the quick diagonal and try and get it on the right hand side here.
And Ndala with the flick on, looking for Drame, and Ndala's in the box, tries to play the 1-2, sold the fullback a little bit short, as Blamini, surrounded by 3 in those amber shirts of Hull City here at home at the MKM Stadium, but he offloads the ball towards Brandon Powell. Slide tackle comes in from Hughes. You don't need me to tell you, there's still the echo of his name despite the sparser crowd this afternoon. Blackburn with a throw in just past Valerian Ishmael's technical area.
Yeah, and his eyes were lit up there when he saw that ball getting played out. He knew it was 60-40 favourite. He was just waiting for the right time to get the slide in. Let's say, and it's a nice one to get in your first tackle.
Ndala in the left back area to Hughes in his fluorescent green boots. Bit of a riskier ball to Amir Hadzimetovic. Back to Phillips in his 6-yard box, under pressure but cleared away, as Henriksson, the Swede, playing up front today, even though he's more routinely an attacking midfielder. Goes to show how many injuries Blackburn have got when they're starting to put square pegs in round holes. Given away by the Tigers through Drame, and Ndala was trying to run in behind on halfway. Blamini just gets away from Drame, right to the corner flag with his flowing brown hair tied up. Back towards Deneve, into Cashin, on debut today for Blackburn. Feeds it to Montgomery, who in centre field knocks it back into the Blackburn defence. Lack of intensity obvious in the early stages, as Ndala wraps his arms around the head of Powell. Advantage given, Blackburn with a low ball in, which Hughes has to cut out, and he puts it into the almost deserted north stand. Only the Blackburn Rovers fans there today. 4.5 gone. First set piece to defend for Hull City as corner get the corner for Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, good block by you, saw the danger, but I'm looking at these two on this right hand side here. Drame and Ndala, don't have been 4 minutes gone, they've been on the wrong page twice.
They were very far apart when Drame tried to slide it down the right-hand channel. Needed to be a ball through the air over the top. Blackburn from the southwest corner. There's not much of a raucous atmosphere down there today, as Will Finney, the referee, first time refereeing Hull City, has spotted that the ball is outside the quadrant.
The fans normally let them know down there. There's no fans, so there must be a ghost in the stadium. Because the referees still come over to check it.
Just peering, you can just see the first few rows of the West Stand, and it is quite deserted. Around about 6,000 here today. Ball swung to the front post. Simple header away for Drame. Comes out to Deneve, who plays the ball over to Gardner Hickman, who took the corner kick. Swings it in with a flat delivery. Header by Coyle. Might run out for another corner, but I think JB's going to get there. Squanders possession as Miller watches the ball fling by him, and Palmer tries to help it on, but concedes to throw in as he just put boot to ball to try and get Miller in down the left-hand side.
Sometimes hard to get an atmosphere into it today. No, limited amount of attendance, and it's like you can hear people shouting from the stand. It's down to the players to make it happen.
We'll see how Hull City go, otherwise you yourself, Swanee, might be shouting and bellowing if they're not at it. I
might do. I'm well wrapped up though, Fletch, aren't we?
We are. The blanket is out in force. Heated gilet today. You've left yours at home in January.
It's coming.
As the offside flag goes up against Blackburn, Hughes just shoving Blamini off the ball. The former pair might have met in academy football back in the day. Hughes, the former Wigan captain, got to captain Wigan Athletic in this round against Manchester United at the DW Stadium, as he just casually plays the ball back towards Phillips, who squares it across his box to Famewa, and back towards Phillips again, hands apart, looking for some movement, and he's now gesturing a bit stronger to get Ndala on the move down the right, pings it forward, easy cut out for Cashin, as Blackburn now try and lift the ball in behind the back four of City. Hughes with the nod back, goes to Phillips, immediately rolls it out towards Famewa to now try and launch Hull City forward. They have been quite pedestrian in the first 7 minutes of this FA Cup third round encounter. Phillips has the ball again. He might have had the most touches so far of anyone in a Hull City kit. There's a nudge over on the far side from Famewa, who's moving forward, gets a free kick on halfway for City.
Coyle's trying to get things going quicker, trying to get the tempo built up into it.
Yeah, just a short free kick 5 yards forward towards Palmer, who's gesturing towards McBurney and Miller. McBurney hasn't had a touch yet. There's JB in field towards Hughes, again in the back line. There's a quieter atmosphere around the MKM Stadium. Famewa trying to unlock it.
Famewa's got to do better, hasn't he? That's just a loose ball there. There's nobody in 15-20 yards. I don't know where we're trying to pick out.
JB's got a problem down here on the near side touchline as well. Referee's going to stop the game after a collision on a Blackburn man, but JB, head in his hands at the minute, looks to be clutching his foot. Looks as though Ndala wants to get him back to his feet. The former Man City Academy players together, but the physio's coming on, and after 8 minutes the first stoppage, and he went down with no one around him that time.
Yeah, I can only think he must be injured in this weather to be laid on the ground.
Certainly wants to be running around. He's sitting up now as the physio's come on. He tried to step in field, didn't he, before playing back to Hughes? I can only suspect that he's maybe rolled an ankle or just felt something around his knee perhaps as he turned.
I'm trying to see what part of his body they're checking. They're just talking to him, is it?
Well, one physio has got his legs apart now, maybe a groin possibly.
Yeah, possibly groin. Abductor, top of the right side.
Will Finney doesn't look too concerned as 5 or 6 players in amber shirts head over to check in on Darko Djebi, who looks quite disconsolate at the moment, head bowed towards the floor. Sergei Yakirovich walks back towards his technical area. Plenty of activity now, and they've already lost Matt Crooks ahead of this game, and now they might be losing another midfielder in JB.
And they definitely will be. They'll get someone stripped off down there.
Peering to see who it might be. Can't see, there's there still
Slater, I think it might have been.
It would be the obvious choice, wouldn't it, in this scenario? But I bet he wasn't expecting to be coming on so soon, if it is to be him.
Might be wrong.
Dean Holden with notepad in hand is going to head over to the fourth official with today's Mr. James Oldham, so that change will happen. And what a terrible afternoon in very quick circumstances for Darko Djebi. Was this round last year was beating Liverpool with Plymouth Argyle, but his race is run. after just 9.5 minutes. He's up on his feet now, but again still head bowed and walking very gingerly towards the apron of the pitch, and the ripple of applause murmuring straight away. And Hull City forced into a change very early doors then. JB off, and still waiting to see who it is who's going to be coming on.
It's got to be Slater on it.
Yeah, looking at who's available on the bench.
Push Palmer a bit further forward. Slater will sit in there.
Slater, here he comes.
I'll put his name down already. Say gamble.
It wasn't the biggest gamble in the world, was it?
I like a gamble now and again.
Well, here he comes, and you could just see the look on Darko JB's face. One of his gloved hands over his face, clearly upset. Wants to try and rubber stamp a opportunity in the team going forward, but sadly for him, looks like it could be a spell on the sidelines for him instead, as he still very slowly makes his way towards the tunnel, and the game will restart. Disappointment for JB, who was just starting, Swanee, to really get up ahead of steam, I think, in the league campaign.
Yeah, it was. Like I say, just needed a run of games, didn't he? And things like this don't help. Set back for him again.
Throwing over on the far
and
side
the squad.
of the City. Phillips back in the 6-yard box, under no pressure from either Henriksen or Blamini, as the game has had very little tempo so far, if any. McBurney drops away from the striker position to go and get a touch for the first time on halfway, but it's given away. Not the best ball out wide towards Blamini, wearing 52 for Blackburn Rovers. Shows maybe the depths of the academy that they've had to go into for this one. Higher squad numbers as McBurney tracks in to try and prevent Montgomery turning in the centre of midfield. As he receives the ball again, the centre midfielder, as Blackburn try and get a bit of speed to their play. And it's worked back by Vermeer. Phillips with a sliced ball out to the right back area, left back area even for Coyle. And they've eventually got it up to the midfield area with McBurney, brought down by Ndala, who looks to turn and find Drama, who's flat-footed, and Blackburn now can maybe counter as Deneve comes down the left wing, sliding in is Charlie Hughes. But again, as you pointed out earlier, Swanee, Ndala and Drama in particular, just not on the same wavelength in the early stages.
Not at all. Not at all. They need to have a chat with each other and introduce yourself, don't they?
12 minutes in, no shots yet, as a ball is played through, and Drame again looks a little sluggish. He's allowed Powell to get to the ball on the byline, tries to cross in, cut out by Hughes once again, and Drame dawdling and trying to clear away, blocks the ball. This is a sluggish start from the right back.
I think he needs to put his alarm clock on.
Brought in today, and quite alarming the way that he started. And Ndala will try and drop him to be a close option from the throw-in, headed out easily by
Things
Cashin.
can only get better, Fletch. Not calling you James today, even though it's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Who has a game on a Sunday at 2:30 when church is open?
People abroad like to have this opportunity to watch Hull City versus Blackburn Rovers, as the ball is fed up towards Ndala. Big touch away there from Deneve, who catches him just past halfway, and that's a free kick for the Tigers.
Right, come on, let's try and make it into a good game, Fletch.
They haven't got anywhere near the penalty area.
We've got to try and make it into this good game. Come on.
What have you got up your sleeve?
I don't know.
That's him.
We need to make it into a good game. Sitting here, my eyes are hurting, it's that cold. That's a great ball down the line. It won't really, but we're trying to make it a good one, Jay.
Blackburn now with a long ball themselves coming the other way. Henriksen wrestles off Vermeer, and it's 2v2 in beyond him. Vermeer, though, gets back and is able to just put the block in, as neither side have really unlocked each other thus far after 14 minutes. Whoever's watching this abroad will probably turned off by now.
I think with Blackburn, though, with it being young kids, there'll be a lot of endeavour, a lot of hard work. Like I said, they will be trying.
Absolutely.
It's whether we can match that. I say self, we've got the ability. It's whether we can match their work rate.
Miller tries to close down on the far side. Miller, battle of the Millers over there, as Blackburn in their dark green kit try and work up to the corner flag on the right hand side. This is Christy Montgomery. He's been particularly busy of those in Blackburn colours, but easily stopped by Coyle and Slater, who are the only two players left in Hull City, at least out there today, who had some feature in the Tigers' last cup victory. Let's put in context, Grimsby winning 7 cup games for our Humberside teams in comparison this season alone. You have to go back to when Hull City played Chelsea here for the last time they were able to get as many games under their belt in such time. As the ball goes back towards Phillips once again, Blackburn have got a man down on the far side now. I think that was after some light contact, the East Stander gesturing, as Drame and Hughes, who's gone into a wide position to allow Amir Hadjimetovic to drop in. Slater all along the deck by the Tigers, as Sergei Kirovic just turns away from his technical area at the moment. Wants to see the fast attacking flowing football, but very much pedestrian at this point for Mawa. Plays towards Casey Palmer, just sells Coyle short. Blackburn try and close down, and in their frantic hurry just kick the ball straight out for a throw in deep in the City half. 15 minutes gone, Hull City 0, Blackburn 0. The only note that I've written down so far is that Darko JB, if you're just joining us, limping off with injury after 9 minutes, Peter Swan.
Yeah, it's not kicked off yet, has it? Well, it has kicked off, but it's not sparked to life or anything yet. I say just to see the work rate of the young Blackburn team, giving it everything, but we need to get the ball down and control the game for me.
It needs a shot just to create a little bit of energy and spark inside the MKM Stadium.
And if anything, it's going to come from Blackburn at the moment. They're the ones that's pushing. Whether they can get any ability to open things up, we have.
They counter chances. McBurney now trying to get Ndala moving, and yes, like you say, Swanee, too early. Cashin had a yard advantage as he tried to run into that right wing position, cut out by City on the turn, with Hughes trying to just intercept off Blamini back towards Dylan Phillips. And I mentioned it earlier, Swanee, the goalkeeper has had the most touches so far, which really tells the tale of how the Tigers have started this one. They have not found a way through Blackburn as yet, with very little pressure. No, going back to the Burnley opportunity, but the chance to play the ball, it's like a lazy pass really, and he could have held it with a couple more seconds. We'd have had the overlap, we'd have had be the favourite to roll the ball out and get in the space in behind the fullback, but that one occasion there, he just wanted to get rid of the ball for some reason. It's not like him. Soft free kick to give away from the Tigers. Amir Hadjimetovic pushing Montgomery to the floor. They kicked it backwards, Blackburn, as Famewo has gambled on trying to break out of the defence. Palmer, he's now been wrestled to the floor. Gardner Hickman was judged to be too aggressive around the shoulders as he stepped into the penalty area, and that's a free kick the other way for Hull City. As 17 minutes played, it's Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. Yeah, it's control of the game we need to get. They've not got control. No one's really got a grip of the game at the moment. You can see what they're trying to do. They're playing in little fits and starts in little areas of the field. Like I say, we need to get hold of the ball, don't we? Like I say, try and pull them out of positions, try and get as wide men involved as much as possible. Like I say, not even looking at Miller. He's had a touch yet. Yeah, Miller might get one now as he closes in on Tom Aitchison. Throw-in goes Blackburn Rovers' way inside their own half. Just a quick run through of what's happening in the FA Cup elsewhere. Earlier today, Leeds United booking their place in the fourth round with a 3-1 win away at Derby County. Arsenal lead 2-1 going into half-time at Fratton Park against Portsmouth. Norwich lead by a 0-0 against Walsall, and Mansfield would be one of very few teams to have caused an upset in the third round so far. They lead at Bramall Lane against Sheffield United by a 0-0. 0-0 between Swansea and West Brom, and also 0-0 between West Ham and QPR. Most of those games a quarter of an hour gone, as Hughes near the centre circle wins the ball off Deneve and now plays to Hadjimetovic. Palmer in the team unexpectedly today for the Crooks injury, finds Miller 35 yards from goal, tries to play forward towards Ndala. It's well cut out, however, by the Blackburn Rovers defence. They try to get the ball up to Blamini, who's drifted to this left midfield area, bumps it back towards Montgomery, and again, Peter Swan, both teams at the minute just seem to have not a real sense of desire to want to try and really go full throttle as yet, especially from midfield, bumping it back into the defences, trying to find openings that way. Yeah, and like when Miller had the opportunity there, because we hadn't had much of the opportunity, he forced the ball where there was another player in between that could have played the ball to. Brandon Powell, the youngster, going forward, takes a shot from 20 yards out, the first one of the day, 19 minutes gone. It was deflected out for a corner kick. Good covering, there was a lot of amber shirts around him, and that was a simple block for those to defend. Corner, and the second one of the day for Blackburn. Yeah, it made it easier for him to have a shot, didn't it? Because we just dropped off, and the opportunity came for the lad, and fair play, he struck it well. And where he uses rubbing, don't want the cold sponge coming on there, lad. I won't go further. You don't need to, do you? No. He's bent over. As Hughes strides back
Still
up.
breathing.
Blamini making a run away this time from Cody Drame, who can't close down the cross. In it comes. Palmer with a header 6 yards out. Went straight up into the air. Hughes tries to get it away. McBurney then clashes with Blamini on the edge of the box. Another shot comes in from Blackburn, which is simply blocked. Drame's going to leave this for Phillips, who slides on his knees, leaves big skid marks behind him. And Blackburn are the ones to show the first sign of any attacking endeavour at the minute, but can the Tigers now from back to front stride forward? Slater has gone on at least 30-yard run, tries to slide it into Endala, covered by Cashin, and Blackburn will look to build out of the back before Palmer comes over. He slides on the wet surface, throw in the Blackburn final third.
There was another chance there, they wanted, like I say, on the break, they're trying to force it where there's another opportunity there. There's another probably player involved that could get linked up there rather than trying to squeeze the pass through where it's not really on.
0-0, 20 minutes played. And Blackburn just seem in no rush at the moment to get the game restarted with the throw-in over on the east stand touchline. At the moment, their goalkeeper, Balas Toff, the Hungarian international, hasn't had a touch of the ball yet in his dark purple strip. As Aitchison battles with Miller and got the better of the Canadian winger. Now the goalkeeper of Blackburn has a touch of the ball, and it's to distribute it left out towards Denif, who checks back again, plays towards Cashin, and Darla will press back towards Toff. McBurney will pressurise, clipped forward back towards Denif. Blackburn just riding a little bit precariously before playing it long and inverted up to halfway. Palmer dives in with a header, and that's a free kick that goes the way of City, even though Henriksen stood his ground and let Palmer jump into him. Referee gives the decision the way of those in amber.
Yeah, you can see them being awkward when he's up in the air and he just steps across, takes his legs away from him. He landed okay, but you can see them landing on the shoulders and struggling away, but he's bounced back to his feet as a lad. Palmer,
Limited game time this season, time on the bench as well, and substitute appearances of note as Hull City clip forward down the middle from their free kick into the box with Miller, tries to slide it to Endala. Blackburn give it to Palmer, shoots with some ferocity, will get a second chance. 2 blocks come in, led by Aitchison. Ball spirals out to Coyle left back, delivers into the box. Miller with the header over the crossbar and a goal kick. First chance for the Tigers, chalked up, took 22 minutes to do it. But now we might see the game open up a little bit because the fans are encouraged.
Well, we hope so. 2 great opportunities. First with the right foot for Casey, then come back to Palmer on as well. On the left side, 2 great strikes, 2 good blocks. On that occasion, Miller, like I said, come from the left side, come round, got in between the full-back and the centre half, but just underneath the ball. Wanted to couldn't get the power and the direction on it, which just resulted in him heading over the crossbar. But yeah, let's hope that sparked us a bit.
Haven't really seen the full-backs venture forward as yet. It's the wingers have been really all alone in Miller and Endala, and given it's a 3-man defence, Swanee, maybe City can be a little bit more courageous.
Yeah, can be more adventurous, can't we? The main thing is like keeping that back door shut and building off that, where at the moment Blackburn has probably been the team that's played in our half more, not really created much, but let's say possession in that half results in just like waiting for that mistake.
Bit of entertainment for the City fans over on the far side in the east stand, as Blackburn are told to go back a good 5 or 10 yards from their potential throw-in, as Denif tries to play it down the left channel, blocked by Drame on halfway, as Sergei Yakirovich acts as ball boy. He's won honours in 4 different nations as both player and as manager. It would be a gargantuan effort for either of these two to go a long way in the FA Cup, but that's what the FA Cup is all about. Stories are there to be had and written, as Cashin on loan from Birmingham City, at Brighton, I beg your pardon, was at Birmingham earlier in the season. Blamini, left wing, looks to cut in away from Drame. He's looked sprightly, to say the least, as City lose possession again, and Powell trying to run in behind. Denif through ball back towards Montgomery, now to Cashin. Powell trying to work it wide and it breaks down again. That's the story of the day so far as we've gone past the quarter waypoint here at the MKM Stadium. City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0 at the moment.
It's dragged, hasn't it?
Yeah, certainly not in the camp, is it, of we feel like this game has flown by. Quite the opposite, as McBurney plays to Slater. A bit of space to find Coyle now. Can Hull City venture past halfway with a bit of purpose. As Coyle side foots it towards Hadjimetovic. Vermeer back towards Coyle again. Coyle to Vermeer. First couple of groans from the Tigers faithful over on the far side, wanting to see a little bit more positivity in the play.
We were saying at the start, like, could be a game for Vermeer to come in and control the game. Not even been involved yet.
I think he's had maybe 3 touches so far, and that's to either move it 5 yards sideways or bump it back towards Phillips. As Blackburn in possession, Coyle will charge in, that time on Lewis Miller, the captain, and wins a throw-in for the Tigers inside the visitors' half. Looking at where everyone's positioned, Slater and McBurney close by, but it's thrown back into the defence again as Hadjimetovic drops between defenders. Back to Phillips in the D of his own penalty area. Drame's gone on a very random run forward. He's taken up a striker's position as Ndala drops in, flies over his head as Phillips tried to find him, and out of play for a throw-in again. Normally you would question the fluidity of a side that's made multiple changes, but you could argue maybe that Blackburn have looked a little bit more together as an 11, as Hull City have struggled to connect with their forward players.
I agree with it. Like I say, the way they've played, like saying working for each other, they all seem to know what each other want from themselves, don't they? Like I say, probably a lack of ability in that final third, but like I say, they're playing an hard half more, and the more they play up there, the more confidence they're going to get.
Blackburn Rovers fans, a block and a half of them in the north stand. About 500 have made the journey on this Sunday afternoon. The ball's forward now towards Blamini. Drame gets something on the ball, clears it 20 yards forward. Blackburn recover in the final third, as it will be Taylor Gardner-Hickman to try and play a back heel. Palmer's won it back, then tries to play through beneath the Belgian defender by trade, cuts in.
They're winning second balls and everything out there as well. They're more hungry.
Well, Palmer,
that's their ball,
manages to just pressurise. There's another throw-in, but yeah, as you said, the hunger, Swanee, is a little bit more visible from Blackburn Rovers.
It is, very much so. You can see they're enjoying it, the kids.
Yeah, they look to be trying to have a bit more zip as Cashin from the left-back area tries to hit a big diagonal, covered by Coyle. Miller did his job and flicked it in field, but covered.
McBurney was on his heels
by Montgomery. But Bernie now is just trying to have to soldier back, isn't he? Because he's getting no service into the front line, and he's having to now dart back.
But when the opportunity came there, he was switched off. That was an opportunity, but Miller just, only thing he could do was flick it into the space. McBurney was the wrong side of his defender.
0-0 at the moment, 27 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Humberside, as Blackburn try and cross in, closed down by Miller, and another corner chalked up the way of the visitors at the moment. They are the only ones who look like scoring, if anything.
I won't go that far, look like scoring. They're the ones that play, they're playing in hard half, but I won't say look like scoring. Not just yet anyway.
Third corner, City have to be switched on. Neither keeper tested yet. As Toff, the Blackburn keeper, goes up to halfway, and that corner really epitomises what we've seen so far. Hit about 10-15 yards over the heads of everyone inside the box, flies out for a throw-in on the west stand side.
Nobody nowhere near it, was there? Nobody nowhere near it.
I mean, I'm struggling to work out how he's managed to get so much underneath that. It's like, to use a golf analogy, it's like 2 clubs too many.
Yeah.
Drame with a throw-in down the line from near the corner flag, and Darla looking up in the air to see where it's gone. Blackburn just appear more switched on in these moments. And Darla with a good knockdown to Hadjimetovic, who nearly got Miller away. He was on the heels of the last man in a dark green kit for Blackburn Rovers. Back it goes to Ryden into Miller, and now Henriksen dropping in as well. Blocks comes in from Vermeer. As we approach the half-hour mark, Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0 here in the FA Cup third round. A reminder, if Hull City had to make it through, then the draw will be tomorrow evening. Will they be joining Grimsby Town in the hat? As Vermeer shrugs off 2 in green. The Blackburn Rovers fans appeal. Will Finney, the referee, not interested one jot. As Gardner-Hickman will slide the ball back to O'Riordan. Now Cashin. Blackburn try and go through the middle. A little diamond of passes as it goes back to the keeper. And that one will sail away. And out of play for a throw-in as Hughes knocked it out on the halfway line. It's a slow burner, I think, is the polite way to describe this one, Swanee.
Wish some more burning. It's freezing up here, lad.
Weren't able to get a radiator or anything up here. I've seen that happen from other commentators. And Darla, right midfield, tries to wrestle away from 2 or 3, went down under his own force, and referee just told him to get back up. Blackburn try and play a ball away. Hughes cutting it towards Phillips, and he has to hot foot it, and Vermeer looked like he was just grabbing Henriksen there to gain an advantage, which is what the Blackburn Rovers fans are displeased about. Then a snapping tackle comes in from Brandon Powell. He gives away a free kick and gets a yellow card for his troubles as well, as he pleads his innocence.
Yeah, it's one of them where he took one for the team. There was on a quick break, weren't we? But yeah, the ball from Hughes, I think it was telling Phillips he wanted him further out to try and get more involved in the play, to try and make it quicker rather than sitting back on his goal line, and resulted in that. Played it close to their striker.
0-0 here on BBC Radio Humberside. Reaction will follow as well, of course, after full time, as Phillips, 6 yards out, will chip the ball forward looking for Cody Drame. Henriksen was in an offside position for Blackburn, hence why he didn't challenge the ball coming back towards him in the penalty area. Phillips again, ball under his right arm, and you can just see he's getting a little bit more agitated now just by his gestures of his left foot. He's put the ball down inside the penalty area. Will Finney was having a look at his watch. That must have been close to the 8 seconds you're allowed, as Slater to Drame. That was a little bit misplaced.
We look like there's mistakes in us, don't we, playing out here at the back? We don't look confident. There we go, give it away.
Yep, Blamini towards Denif. Slater trying to close down, so too Ndala. Now to Gardner-Hickman. Palmer relishing the chance unexpectedly to play this afternoon from the get-go, but he will continue to buzz around as Gardner-Hickman just loses stride.
He's had a few goals in him, hasn't he?
Yep, not once but twice, and the second one was too much.
There.
And that's a free kick on this left midfield area.
I'd class that as a bit of a chase in there, Mr. Palmer. He had you everywhere, he had you on toast there.
Yeah, Gardner-Hickman was struggling to say the least. It didn't look like he wanted the second contact, as Palmer was trying to tell him who's boss in that midfield battle, with his long sleeves on, untucked shirt, with the long hair that we're used to seeing. Gardner-Hickman 2 arms up in the air. Blackburn have their players interspersed 20 yards out from goal, as Blackburn will now try and deliver. Flat delivery. Man went down at the back for Hull City. Looked like it was Coyle who went over, and it comes to nothing for Blackburn, flicking it out wide for a goal kick. 32.5 minutes gone.
It's quiet as, and I understand why.
It's certainly got that pre-season feel about it.
And they're saying to each other over there, why did we come today? Why did you make me come today?
In January in overcast conditions. Sure, it'll spice up at some point, as Ndala wriggles away from Cashin now as a defender. He's now left a gap at the back. Can Palmer exploit it? Here he comes through ball,
forcing it
looking
again
for Ndala.
Look out wide, Fletch. There's 2 players out wide. It's got space to go and attack, and he's trying to play that killer pass with 3 players around him.
And what you need now is one of 2 of them to maybe just have a word and just actually tell him that they were available.
Yeah, that's what some of them don't know. They need to. That was a foul throw, got away with that.
Yeah, he's in towards McBurney, 20 yards out. First time he's had the ball in the box, wrestles away from his first marker, then covering on that occasion was O'Riordan, clears away only as far as Vermeer, who's advanced into the Blackburn half. Pops to Miller inside the box on the left hand side, trying to create a yard of space to have a go. He's chipped one towards the back post. Now that looked definitely to be a shot, but he never really got underneath it, and there was no power behind it to try and dink Toffer, and that will be a goal kick for Blackburn Rovers.
It's got to be in a shock, because if he looks up, they saw nobody in the box, so there's no point in crossing it. Great bit of skill by McBurney, bringing it down with people around him. Gets the ball to Miller, great bit of skill by Miller, and then didn't get his head up to see what he was going to do next with it.
I feel like he was caught in 2 minds, because the way it floated towards the back post looked like a cross, but as you say, Swanee, there was nobody running in at the back stick. As Cashin, left side of the back 3 for Blackburn, will play towards Montgomery. Ball comes to a standstill. Cashin trying to get away from Palmer now. That's deflected out for a throw in just past halfway. 10 minutes to go of before half-time. Norwich lead 2-0 now away at home, I beg your pardon, against Walsall. And Sheffield United 1, Mansfield 1. Latest scores in the FA Cup. 0-0 still at Swansea and as well at West Ham, as Cody Drame will get the ball away from Blamini, the young winger, with Henriksen playing up front, and Powell will always try and burst forward from a number 10 position. 4 academy players in the Blackburn Rovers team, 3 more on the bench.
Fair play to them.
They've had a good go, haven't they?
Yeah.
Relishing the opportunity because of Blackburn's situation with injuries. They know that there might be a starting 11 place in the league sooner rather than later, and they've got a good history of bringing players out of the academy and selling them on for a few quid. There's Drame side-footing the ball over the top, looking to McBurney to run down this right-hand side, slips and slides, uses his footing and a ride and makes him look a fool as he passes it back to his goalkeeper. Ryden under pressure from Ndala, but able to give it to the keeper on the edge of the box on the right-hand side. It will be then lifted forward and out of play for a throw-in. There are moments where, as we've complimented Blackburn and their younger players, especially in the attack, when they do get the ball they buzz about, but I think both defences have just lacked a bit of urgency and a bit of connectivity with the rest of their teammates higher up the pitch, as Phillips gives it a thud from the right side of his box, flicked on by McBurney. A little deflection off the shoulder blades of Cashin was an advantage. Drame back towards Hughes, gets it out of his right foot. Blamini pressurising, back to Hadzimetovic, then to Famewa. Miller, heavy touch,
better
did
football.
The trick. Slater now trying to return the gesture and feed it to him, cut out by Aitchison. Slater then comes in, wins it back again, and Palmer does so as well. These two are trying to get Hull City motoring, and then a free kick goes against them, potentially in harsh circumstances, as Will Finney was 5 yards away from Palmer running into his man.
That was good, that last minute. At least we saw some understanding, movement, interchanging, like I said, the passing there, which was good. You see what Slater was trying to do, try and get Miller into that little space behind the full back that he'd made a run, but just come up short. But that was a bit better.
Miller loses footing over in the left midfield position. Blackburn win it back. Blamini holds it up to Gardner Hickman, 3 ahead of him in a very congested left-hand side of Hull City's frame.
They just look lost at times, Blackburn, when they get in areas like that. They just look lost.
And you can maybe understand that if they haven't played alongside each other, but they're in now. Powell's got a chance left of the 6-yard box, and it's cut out by the Tigers. Slater getting back in. City looked like they had it covered, then Powell just pushed it past his marker, and suddenly a load of space opened up. Should have got the shot away, really. Hull City cover well and out for a throw-in on the far side.
That's exactly what I was saying. They just seem lacking ideas when they get in certain areas. The ball dropped to him there in a fantastic position where he's got to get his shot off, hasn't he? I know it's a narrow angle, but like I say, anything low and hard there, he can sneak between the keeper's legs, but waited too long for the defender to come back and dealt with it.
I suspect a long throw-in coming up here for Blackburn. No one short, 5 in the area. Delivered to the front of the 6-yard box, headed behind by McBurney. 4th corner of the afternoon for Blackburn Rovers. Quite a blank page, I have to say, at the minute on key notable moments in the match. Blackburn, though, with another set piece in front of their supporters, kicking towards the north stand in this first half. 0-0 after 38 minutes. As everyone's back in amber colours. A bus stop shape from the penalty spot for Blackburn, delivered in, and McBurney got there first. Comes back to Denif, 25 yards out, plays it back to Powell. Powell's going to try and move it out to the right wing area. It was forceful, to say the least. It had Gardner Hickman backtracking as Blackburn start again on halfway with Cashin. Hull City not so urgent to press forwards. Don't want to leave spaces in behind, as from their right back area they play forward to Henriksen. Given away though by the Tigers as they tried to win it back, with Hughes over on that far side. He wins it back, however, now tries to play forward to Miller, but referee's going to bring it back for a free kick. Hull City judged to have been kicking at the laces of Montgomery on that far side, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, I don't know if Hughes or Coyle had the last nibble at him. Result would give them an opportunity to send everybody up.
think Hughes started it and Coyle finished it. 6.5 minutes of normal time to run. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0 here in the Emirates FA Cup third round. Miller with the only chance for Hull City so far, a tepid effort which floated wide of goal, and a header as well which went over the bar, but they haven't got to the front three often enough, Hull City, and their set piece defending once more, all in a line on the penalty spot. Blackburn into
Number
Spurs,
26 right around
delivered
the back.
into the area, and it was O'Riordan trying to get there. Can Hull City break now, however? Rame trying to play the ball into a centre midfielder who wasn't there. Played it to Billy the Invisible Man instead, as Blackburn then try and work it towards the penalty area. Cut out, and then Coyle has taken his man out off the ball, but play will go on anyway, as it's Indala to Miller. Ball goes out on the far side. Louis Coyle got in a wrestling match over on the far side there with Lewis Miller, and Coyle put him on the deck, verberated to him as well, said something as he walked past. The referee was up with play, didn't see it happen, but now, under the communication of his linesman, will bring both players in. The two captains getting agitated and trying to give this game a bit of spark.
Trying to get some out of the little bit of a wrestle going on, whether he books them both or has a little chat. I think the chat's probably good enough to keep the game moving on. And that's what he's doing.
Will Finney, the referee, as I mentioned earlier, first time refereeing these two sides. He's refereed England matches more than these two, at academy level, I might add. 3.5 minutes to go before half time. Throw in for the Tigers, and it was just a calm ear. Word in the ear by Will Finney to both captains, and Coyle now makes his way over to the east stand touchline to try and deliver a throw-in of purpose. Some movement from Slater, Miller and McBurney. Slater is the chosen target. He will play it to Hughes with purpose in the centre circle. Ball's floated over Denif's head, finds Ndala, not the best first touch. His second one sees him go backwards. Denif then gets a good position to stop Ndala turning. Hughes infield has left the boot in on Brandon Powell after winning the ball back, and Ndala is going to bring the game to a halt. Tigers fans don't like it. They feel that Hull City could have carried on, but they were going nowhere, and the referee stops to check in on young Brandon Powell, who's down in a heap on the halfway line.
It's not going to spoil the pattern of the play, is it?
No.
If you want to stop the game, don't you, want ref? Just get through to half time and then come out. Let's have a go at second half. At the moment, the first half being, say, not the best.
Plenty of the fans, even though it's a lower crowd today, are wanting to be first in the queue. Bovril hot chocolate, I think, will be the chosen drinks of choice this afternoon, as we've got 2.5 minutes before we get into the stoppage time. 0-0 at the moment. No change in the score lines elsewhere apart from at Fratton Park in the second half. Gabriel Martinelli has given Arsenal a 2-goal advantage. It's Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 3.
The incentive of playing something like an Arsenal or a Man City should get them up for the game, because this is a great opportunity to go through to the fourth round, isn't it?
It's what Sergei Yakirovich wants as well. Said in his pre-match that an away tie at a Premier League team would be probably...
He just likes coffee though, doesn't he? So it's probably the posh coffee he's probably looking for.
I tell you what, I bet they do a good brew at places like Chelsea and Spurs.
Spurs, we haven't been to Spurs. Let's get through this first, because I can't see us getting through this yet.
I think we could be going on for a significant amount of time. A reminder, it's extra time and penalties if these two can't be separated.
Spurs would be nice though, wouldn't it? Let's dream.
In fact, they got knocked out last night, didn't they?
Who did?
Spurs. Just remembered, lost to Aston Villa.
Oh.
The pressure on Thomas Frank.
You're right going there then, wouldn't we? We'll be by herself. Got the ground to herself.
Park that for 9 months at least. Should we just go and have a stadium tour?
Mansfield have gone 2-1 up away at Sheffield United.
They have. They're having a really good go at it. Tell you what we could do if we went to Tottenham, Swanee. We could do the walk you can do on the roof of the ground.
Oh no, not for me. No.
Famewa has the ball in the centre of defence, plays towards Coyle, launches it forward, looking for McBurney, who just gets a stride away from O'Riordan to the left of the area at the south stand end. Miller plays in field to Hadjimetovic. He rides out one tackle, but there's cover from Henriksen. Now Blackburn want to break in a line of 4. Slater tucks into the left back position because Coyle was advanced, as Blackburn now move forward Henriksen trying to partner up with Lewis Miller. The captain of Blackburn gets on the ball, right wing position, looks to move inside, and it's then wrestled to the floor. And Famewa gets the booking.
Yeah, it was. That's it. He got him on the inside, got him on the outside, then he put the ball through his legs to make matters worse, and then I think it was more of an embarrassment factor that he threw his arms around him and resulted in getting him in the book.
Sadly, the first 45 minutes has brought the usual performance levels that we've seen of Hull City of late in cup competitions, where it's been mainly 6 out of 10s, 5 out of 10s in the first 45 minutes. Sergei Kirich will probably need to just inject a bit of assertiveness at half time, allow the players to have their own inquest as well.
5 minutes.
5 more minutes of injury time.
He's no feelings, that referee, has he? Hey, it's just, he's enough. I'm thinking about us up here, is he?
You can, Jono, go and put the kettle on now for us. We'll ride it out for 5 more minutes as Blackburn free kick over on the east stand side, and now Will Finney stops the game because there's a bit of pushing and shoving on Henriksen, and gets a little bit heated out of absolutely nothing, which I think the fans would actually enjoy.
The Coyler's involved as well. Have a little niggle in there, making the player react.
Slater getting a bit heated as well from the pushing and shoving of Henriksen, as Will Finney just calms everything down again. A bit of niggle in the game. There's been a couple of individual pushes and shoves, just trying to get the adrenaline pumping, I think, for both teams. As we await this free kick, that's a minute of the 5 gone. As one arm goes up over on that northeast side of the ground, delivered in. This could be dangerous for Blackburn, as on that occasion Miller, the captain, the ball pinballed towards him 6 yards out, and then Blackburn will just be a little bit of a nuisance to Dylan Phillips. Miller just kicking the ball out of play, but there was at least 4 or 5 people in amber shirts inside and around the 6-yard line who saw that ball bounce towards them. None of them could deal with it. City can be a bit fortunate they didn't come to a serious opportunity.
Yeah, and I think it's Phillips who can see everything, couldn't get to it or didn't make the decision to go, and I think it was McBurney that got the big hook between bodies and got the clearance on it.
McBurney heading the ball forwards, Cashin hooks over his head from the left back position. McBurney, ball breaks loose to him, he tries to swing in to find Lewis Miller.
This could build to something here, come on.
Let's see, 5 in amber, delivered into the box, Cashin just volleys away. Hadzimetovic tries to then return the ball forward. Sergei Kirich hands on head at the moment as the rain intensifies as well. We can hear it clattering the roof above us. As Famewa moves the ball to Miller, carves out across, it's over McBurney's head and out into that deserted south stand and out for a goal kick.
We've had nothing really to feed off after the strikers, no crosses whipped in, get behind the back to the byline to get balls in that way. Everything's been put in from deep angles, hoping that someone's going to peel off like McBurney on that occasion, but they're hard to score from. It's when you get behind the back and they're pulling the ball back and you're making decent runs across the strikers, across the goalkeeper and the defenders, that gives you the opportunity, not what we've just been seeing.
I think the telltale of the Hull City selection this afternoon is that the 4 changes that they've made today just really seems to have taken a lot of chemistry out of those out there, as Phillips booms the ball away down the right hand side. Palmer has done very well there to trap the ball, wins a free kick as well, as Montgomery tries to just time waste as much as he can. Casey Palmer will take the short towards Cody Drame, back towards Hughes. Can they rotate from right to left? There's a few more Hull City fans get up off their seats from the front rows as they're getting...
Surprised, the rain's coming down sideways.
There's enough seats, isn't there, to go to the back of the stand. Drame past halfway for Hull City to Endala. Endala's first touch is good, the pass however supplied is cut out.
Their link-up players being non-existent on it down this right-hand side, Drame and Endala, sorry.
Do you think he'll change it at half-time? Do you think it's one of those where it's so significantly obvious from up here in the stand that...
I think he'll give him a kick up the backside.
Give them 10 minutes to get themselves together.
Even McBurney you can rely on is all over the shop.
Yeah, McBurney's won it back though, right on cue as Cashin is now out of position to Endala, 20 yards from goal. Slater begged to shoot, plays to Miller instead. Miller takes it on, and it's a good save from Toft. He dragged it to the left of the 6-yard box to escape a marker. Goalkeeper closed down, gets a hand to it, corner kick for the Tigers.
That was better play by McBurney. That's what we know it's all about. Linked up play, strong in the first place, then gets the pass away. When the ball comes to edge of box there, Slater, he didn't know whether to get a shot away, but then he sees Miller in a better position, threads it through for him. Miller, for me, first time, he's got to hit it first time. As soon as he has a touch, the defender gets back.
Short corner from the Tigers, delivered to Miller. It's a 1-2 between him and Hadjimetovic, played to the 6-yard line. No jumps from anyone in amber shirts. And now Blamini will try and get Blackburn going the other way on the counter. His first pass was a poor one. The second one fizzed out to the left-hand side, meets nobody.
Thank you.
And Will Finney brings mercy to the fans who have paid their money to come and watch what we've seen so far. 0-0 at half-time. Liam Miller, I beg your pardon, has been able to get past Lewis Miller, and he's the only one who's had chances so far, heading over the bar, dinking one to the right-hand post, and then the best of the bunch right at the end, dragging to 6 yards out. Good save from the keeper, but neither keeper's really been tested, Peter Swan, and it's really no surprise at half-time that it's 0-0.
Yeah, and you see him walking off with the shoulders dipped, their head down, and that's how the game's been played in that first half, as if they've got the right to go out there and win the game against a weakened Blackburn team. Fair play to the Blackburn team. There's not much quality in there, but you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to pass it. They're all working together. There's no quality when it comes to in the final third that's going to try and open us up. So in that occasion, that's it. Right, let's overload bodies. Let's push higher up the field. Let's get extra bodies in there. But we ain't got that spark yet. Like I say, I don't think we've had probably 2 phases of play where you're thinking, yeah, that looks more like us. Where we've seen not 60, 70 minutes of games where they've seen all that all the time, but to just see 2 or 3 minutes in the 45 minutes against a team that they ain't got the quality to go and win this game unless we let them. So at the end of the day, it's down for the manager now to give them a rocket, give them 10 minutes and then make changes for me. But like I say, that's not good enough.
And talking of changes, they've had to make one in the first half. Darko Djebe having to come off after 9 minutes. Looks like a groin strain or pull that he went down on the halfway line. There's not really much else to talk about. Got to call it as it is, and at half-time, unsurprisingly, Hull City and Blackburn Rovers are still locked together, 0-0.
Well, this time last week, the MKM Stadium was empty, but that was down to the fact that the game had been postponed and the fans had left the venue. Here, there aren't that many fans to leave, and what they've been served up in the first 45 minutes has been, to say the least, very poor in the third round of the FA Cup. If Hull City are to finally break that run of disappointing results in the FA Cup, they'll have to do better in the next 45 minutes. Commentary of the second half to come here on BBC Radio Humberside and Humberside Sport Live. Let me bring you up to date with the rest of the FA Cup ties. Finished already. It's finished a victory for Leeds United at Derby County by 3-1, and actually Leeds coming from behind against the Rams. It's well into the second half in Fratton Park. Portsmouth and Arsenal have a 3-1 lead against Portsmouth. Gabriel Martinelli with 2 of the goals in that game. Let me bring you up to date with the games that have reached half-time. Goalless, of course, here at the MKM Stadium between Hull City and Blackburn Rovers. Norwich City 2, Walsall 0, Sheffield United 1, Mansfield Town 2, which right now looks like the shock of the day. A couple of games that are goalless going into the half-time interval against Swansea and West Bromwich Albion, and West Ham United against Queen's Park Rangers. The game between Manchester United and Brighton and Hove Albion kicks off in an hour's time at 4:30. It's BBC Radio Humberside. It's Humberside Sport Live. We'll hear from one of the players who's on the bench for this game shortly.
When I first met Dave, we were inseparable. I loved the way he talked to me. He made me feel so special. But now, I think he spends more time on his phone.
Hey, smart speaker.
Hold on, did he just say my name? Yes, Dave, I'm listening.
Play BBC Radio Humberside.
Oh, Dave, I knew you still loved me. Playing BBC Radio Humberside.
Thanks for listening to BBC Radio Humberside on your smart speaker. It's good to have you with us.
Just say, play BBC Radio Humberside.
To get the latest on Hull City,
Click subscribe on BBC Sounds.
Not entirely sure that you need your smart speaker to be entertained by this game so far. Goalless here at the MKM Stadium. Well, let's hear from a player who could have some involvement in the second half. Cathal McCarthy became a regular feature in the matchday squad this season, featuring on the bench most weeks, something the player himself probably wasn't expecting when he joined Hull City's under-21s a year ago. But the 19-year-old has impressed Tigers fans the couple of times that he stepped onto the pitch. In fact, his debut was against Blackburn Rovers at the start of the season here at the MKM Stadium. The Irish defender's been talking to Humberside Sports' Leo Jocelyn about how he's found the move to England.
No, you know what, I think it's brilliant, and you know what, Yorkshire people are lovely as well, so they're very friendly, so you know what, it's easy to settle in. Plus I'm in a house with a few of the other lads on the team, so you know what, it's just brilliant, like, you know what I mean, you get to live with them, you're living with your mates and you're with them all the time, so you know what, I'm really happy with where I am. I'm out in Beverley, so lovely spot.
Because I spoke to some young people across different sports, not just football, and I spoke to some lads who've moved to a different country, but they've been living on their own, and it's sort of been like in at the deep end. Some of them don't even know how to cook. Do you think it helps having a group of people in a similar situation to live with?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, like just being on your own, maybe be a small bit lonely, and do you know what I mean? You're away from home, especially like you're in a different country. I know some lads are only maybe over not too far away, London or Leeds or sort of Manchester. But obviously when you're from Ireland, it's a bit further. So it's real nice being able to live with lads. And one of the fellas I do live with, Hugh Parker. So I would have played football with him over in Ireland. So I know him a few years. So that's nice. He's my good buddy. So living with him's nice.
I don't know. I've spoken to one or two players from Scunny who came through UCD in the Irish leagues as well. Do you know it's a bit of a connection? Especially, you know, when you, I guess, playing with other under-21s teams, you often finding these little connections.
Absolutely, yeah. Like there's so many like under-21s every week. You're coming up. Like I'm a centre half or a number 6, and there's always a striker, an Irish guy, or do you know what I mean? I would have played with them maybe at youth level with Ireland under-19s, under-21 level. So it's just nice. You always see lads and stuff like that. Especially it's kind of nicer over here. You maybe. It's only the one or two that you see every week, so it's kind of cool like that.
Let's talk about this season on the pitch, because you've been involved with the first team a lot, but a lot of the times you've been on the bench, so you've been travelling with them, but haven't seen many. I think you've only made 3 league appearances for the first team. What's it been like being so involved with the first team, but having to sit and watch a lot of the games from the sidelines?
Look, I know I'm not going to play every game, and I know I have to be patient and stuff like that. So, look, I'm not too worried at the minute. 3 games, that's 3 more than I expected when I came over in the summer. So, look, everything's a bonus from here on in. Just try, like you said, if I'm on the bench, happy days. If I get on, even better. But yeah, I'm not too worried. Just I know I have to be patient, and like I said, I've 21s to play, and that's really important as well. And it's a good level, so I'm not too worried.
Even if you're not involved with the actual game, do you still find benefits in travelling with the first team squad and being a part of the match day experience?
Absolutely, yeah. Like it's all part of it. It's all part of being a professional footballer, and you have to get introduced some way. And if that just means just travel and you're on the bench for the day, that's absolutely fine. Like you need to get used to it and get involved. And do you know what I mean? It's important to build relationships off the pitch, do you know what I mean? And just get to know the lads, do you know what I mean? It's nice being around it. You don't want to always be, maybe you're only here twice a week for training, do you know what I mean? You're not seeing the lads as much, so it's hard to, you know, kind of get included and stuff like that. So when you're around it as much as you can, that's the main thing, like, and get involved.
Whenever I see the little clips that the club puts out on social media and listen to interviews with players, there seems to be quite a cohesive team bond in that dressing room. Is that a fair reflection?
Absolutely, yeah. There would be, in fairness, there's some good characters in the dressing room. So, you know what it is? It's good fun and there's a bit of crack going on. So that's good as well. It's important too.
When you spoke to James and came in our studio in September, you said you'd already had to adjust your goals for the season, given you'd unexpectedly made that appearance against Blackburn, which we'll talk about in a bit. Have you had to change your goals again since?
I don't know. Maybe they're similar because obviously, look, when coming in, I maybe thought anything with even training with the first team, that's the goal, and just any not even minutes, just any involvement at all, that's the main thing. But obviously now that I've been up a good bit, I had to change. But I suppose not much has changed since I chatted with you in September. So look, they're probably similar. Just anything here on in, any more minutes, that's a bonus, and just keep going and try to stay on the bench and in around it as much as you can. So I suppose they're kind of similar still.
Let's talk about that Middlesbrough game right before New Year's, because I think it'll be 3 months since your last appearance for the first team, and then 5 minutes in, Sergei turns around to you and says, "Get the bib off." What was going through your head?
Like you said, I didn't have much time to think about it 5 minutes in. So do you know what? I think that's nearly better. You're kind of literally, Ryan Giles goes down after 3 minutes, and you've 1 minute to warm up, and you're literally in after 5 minutes. So look, I think I had no time to think, so there wasn't much going through my head. Just get on the pitch and just do your thing, I suppose, and settle down into the game. That was the only thing really going through my head. Just maybe a few simple passes or get a tackle in, do you know what I mean? Just settle yourself. So
I was going to ask you about that, because sometimes if it's something, obviously I don't play any professional sport, but if I'm doing something big, like an interview with a big player, sometimes I prefer to not have a lot of almost like preparation and get told quite close to it, because you're not thinking it through in your head. Do you find the benefits in that as a player sometimes?
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head. You don't want to be overthinking or over preparing, and do you know what I mean? Maybe you're building it yourself, or you're building it up for yourself when maybe you don't even need to. So I think just coming off the bench after 5 minutes, it's just no time to think, straight into the deep end. So no, it's brilliant. Honestly, really good. So yeah.
Given you came into that game and played so well, was it then frustrating not to be involved again in Stoke 3 days after? Do you want to keep that momentum going?
Absolutely. I suppose you want to play all the time, but look, I wouldn't say frustration. I know, look, I'm a young lad, and these other defenders have played a lot more games and have a lot more experience than me, so I'm not too worried. And again, it depends on the system we play. Like against Middlesbrough, we had a 5 or 3 at the back. We had 3 central defenders, so I suppose that's why I was able to come in and be one of those central defenders. And then obviously against Stoke we go to a 4, so that's one of those central defenders gone. So look, I'm not too worried, and I'm not, like, do you know what I mean, angry I didn't play, or, you know, Stoke, or I'm not too worried at all.
Good interview that. Cathal McCartney talking to Leo Jocelyn. In the FA Cup games, Arsenal have now taken a 4-1 lead at Portsmouth. Gabriel Martinelli completing a hat-trick in that game. 4-1 the Gunners lead, so doing well in the Premier League and in the FA Cup. Still Norwich 2, Walsall 0. Sheffield United still down by 2-1 against Mansfield. Reid with a couple of goals for Mansfield in that game. Goalless between Swansea City and West Bromwich Albion, and Kaisenso Somerville has just given West Ham the lead against Queen's Park Rangers. That game is now officially at half time. The game between Manchester United and Brighton and Hove Albion, that game kicks off at 4:30. There is a full programme of games in the Women's Super League as well today. Aston Villa have beaten Brighton and Hove Albion by 2-1. Chelsea have beaten West Ham 5-0. Manchester City beating Everton by 2-0, and a victory for Tottenham Hotspur by 1-0 against Leicester City. The game between Liverpool and the London City Lionesses is currently goalless, 47 minutes gone in that game in the Women's Super League. Of course, all the FA Cup highlights on BBC One and the iPlayer after Look North tonight at 10:30, and then Women's Super League highlights that follows. Match of the day. Second half commentary to come here at the MKM Stadium shortly. We await the players coming out for the second half.
Carla Green.
What are your thoughts on all this?
Asking all the important questions.
What was your reaction? How would you feel? Is that reasonable? What is the answer to this?
Getting to the heart of the matter.
You find out you're not the only person going through those kind of issues.
I think with nicotine, you're a lifelong customer. That's the problem with it.
And it wasn't until they were flying to Los Angeles that they thought, oh, it's not a bad job that writing plays.
Oh, it's amazing. They have taken them to their hearts, which is wonderful.
That is what people want, and I think that would be really interesting.
Carla Green.
Weekday mornings from 10.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Humberside.
Every game live. BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Well, the music's certainly doing its part in trying to warm things up. Bit of Luther Vandross and Never Too Much playing across the MKM speakers. The players still warming up. No sign of either of the two sets of players for this second half. A reminder, if you're just tuning in, that here on Humberside Sport Live, currently goalless between Hull City and Blackburn Rovers, 0-0 at the interval. Right now, no real clear indication as to which of these two teams will join Grimsby Town in the fourth round draw tomorrow evening. Of course, you will find out who the Mariners get at least by keeping your eyes across Humberside Sport on X, formerly Twitter. I'm back with you tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. We'll have the details between 6 and 7, of course. The Hull City players are back out now for the second half, closely followed in all green by the players of Blackburn Rovers. We're about to resume for the second half. A reminder that because this game is on the FA Cup, we can bring you it on BBC Sound. So if you're looking for commentary of the second half, it's on all frequencies and on BBC Sounds on the app and desktop version as well. Let me hand you to your commentary team. Once again, a former record Hull City signing, Peter Swan. Alongside him this afternoon, James Fletcher.
Thanks, James. Welcome back, everybody. The second half can only get better, I feel, for listeners back home or wherever you are in the world. 0-0 the scoreline here. Very few chances to write home about. All three that Hull City have had coming through Liam Miller, of varying degrees of excitement and probability of creating something special. He headed one over from 8 yards out, didn't really get anywhere near the crossbar, dinked one towards the back post from the left edge of the area, and then right towards the end of the half, dribbling into the box. The biggest talking point from the first 45 minutes from a Hull City point of view was the injury of Darko JB coming off after 9 minutes, and before the game, no Matt Crooks. No changes for either team at half time, but I imagine there will have been some stronger words, I imagine, from Sergei Yakirovich in comparison to Valerian Ismail at half-time. Let me give you a run-through of Hull City's lineup. 4 changes, if you include the Crooks late departation. It's Phillips as the goalkeeper. The back 4 from right to left is Drame, Hughes, Vermeer and Coyle. We'll come back to that because City are looking interested in attacking the final third before.
You were shocked there, that's what it was, Fletch. You were shocked. They looked dangerous for a bit, and then we thought, no, best not, we'll start again.
Maybe they heard me because there's nobody up here. They've just decided to play one back because Fletch is going through the starting 11.
And now we're back to Phillips in goal, so that's how positive we was.
Hadjimetovic and Slater play midfield. Palmer ahead of them. McBurney is the striker.
Oh, what a skill, McBurney.
And Darla either wide. McBurney wins a free kick. And as you say, Swanee, the yellow card is coming out for O'Riordan, who...
That was a great touch. Played into him, outside his foot, spin. Like the defender coming to clatter him, and he just spun him away. Like a Brazilian had done that, you'd be talking about that for ages. But he wanted him McBurney.
Well, if he goes to the World Cup, he has the chance to do it against the Brazilians, of course. For Mayweather, big diagonal, out to Ndala, in the right wing position. Bit of movement from him, he can't find a way through, but the support is there from Hadjimetovic. Here comes City with Drame trying to drill one into the box and wins an early corner at the start of this second half in the first 2 minutes, Peter Swan.
I was going to say, when we're going off, like I say, what the manager thinks he'd say, and I've seen a difference in Drame. He's got no tights on this second half.
That's the obvious change.
No, I'm just thinking as a manager.
Oh, ball played out to Millet, half volley over the crossbar.
Just thinking as a manager and looking at you and my defender, and you've got tights on
a grass pitch as well.
It's because it's cold.
Take them off.
Get them off.
Around a bit.
Show what it's all about, lad.
Want the steam coming off as Louis Coyle down on this left-hand side. Just has a little word with Vermeer as the goal kick is taken by Blackburn and bumped out of play for a
I look at things like that.
Goal kick.
Not tights and things, but on about warm-ups, when they're having a warm-up, it's freezing. 2 defenders, our defenders, Hughes, Coyle, warmed up in the shorts. Everybody else wrapped up.
Oh, you'll know this on a muddy pitch. I used to love going in for a slide tackle.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the warm-up, it's just like, I'm a defender.
Sure.
Drame started a lot better the second half.
Here's Coyle on the opposite side. He will play the ball back towards Phillips near his penalty spot. Thought about clearing it away. There was pressure.
He makes me feel nervous. Phillips, ball at his feet.
Well, Miller was going to close him down. Managed to take a stride away from him as Coyle plays it back towards Phillips again. That's the first real sign that we've seen either team press the goalkeeper as well. There's been very little urgency in either side's pressing in the first 45 minutes as the ball flies out for a throw-in just past Varun Ismail in the Blackburn technical area.
Yeah, just saying that the ball at Phillips' feet there, just smashed it straight over the head of Miller. Get nowhere near that one. But I'd say it's only a couple of minutes gone. Do look a little bit brighter. Won't take much to be any brighter, but do look a little bit brighter.
This is Blamini though for Blackburn, the young forward trying to get into the penalty area. A little intervention comes in from Regan Slater, just pickpocketing and prizing the ball back towards Phillips. As Hughes, neat play between he and Drame, wants to now move the ball out to the left hand side when it seemed easier to go to Endala. Palmer was caught out, nearly hit the referee. Palmer strides back into the left midfield position and is able to win the ball back. So early warnings and murmurings that there might be a little bit more end-to-end in this fixture. Slater plays to Palmer in a pocket on halfway, out to Miller. McBurney points, wants it playing in behind. They go back to Palmer instead on halfway, back towards Vermeer. He goes back towards Phillips, and Sergei Yakirovich in the technical area deplores the passing backwards as Hull City retreat into their defensive ranks once again. 5 minutes of the second half gone. Remains 0-0 here on BBC Radio Humberside.
What a touch by Sergei. That's how you do it.
Yeah, headed out of play by Blackburn, then just a lovely flick of the right boot, or trainer in Sergei Yakirovich's case. That's a neat ball by Coyle. Finds McBurney. Can they unlock it? Inverted ball to Miller. Cut out by Blackburn. And now Gardner Hickman tries to turn away from Palmer. Plays towards Miller. Caught one in the face from Louis Coyle there, and a free kick 10 yards inside the Blackburn half.
Yeah, like I say, McBurney did that in the first half when he played it too early. He should wait until Miller's in his stride and favour it to get to the other side of him. He's played it too early then, defender nice and easy to pick up.
I think looking at where one of the centre halves of Blackburn was in O'Riordan, the way he was just moving to go across towards the runner, I think that might have just in the mind think, well, it's either now or never, even though from up here, as you testify, Swanee, looked too early. There's a throw-in on the far side for Blackburn Rovers here in the second half of this FA Cup third round encounter. 11 games in cup football without a victory for Hull City, the longest run, and nowhere near the attendance of 79 years ago when these two met in the FA Cup. 30,000 walked through the Boothry Park turnstiles to see Hull City face Blackburn that afternoon. It wasn't the right result, but the Tigers,
some attendance, isn't it?
Back in the 1940s, City's attendances back at Boothry Park used to be incredible. Swanee, if you go back through the history books, it's
I've seen some of them.
Nearly 50,000 in on Christmas Day against Rotherham United. Of course, the record attendance ever coming in the FA Cup against Manchester United, 55,000. Slater. Gone are the days though of when you could cram that many people into a football stadium. As Coyle will play now towards McBurney. McBurney turning, and that's to Drame. Now Endala's making a run, but Drame's going to do it all himself. Plays it to Endala right to the 6-yard box, has to look back. Slater with a low ball in, which is turned behind by Cashin, who was stumbling. Again, maybe one pass in the wrong direction, but they got a result in terms of getting the shot away behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, McBurney played a big part in that. Like I say, great little twist and turn, got the ball away. Drame, then it opened up for Drame to go and go and go. And when the chance come for him to shoot, he elected just to play the ball on the outside to Ndala, which overhit the pass, and the chance had gone.
Here comes the resulting corner. Outswinger towards the 6-yard box, looking for Charlie Hughes that time. Ball comes back towards Hadjimetovic. Now Miller tries to hit it on the half volley, and that one nearly hit the roof of the north stands. A player down for Blackburn. Miller never got behind it. High wide and not very handsome.
Got behind it and underneath it, didn't he? It's an art technique. Let's give him that.
Blackburn have had to bring their physios on. Problem for Christy Montgomery, who's down at the moment, the midfielder. who's played really the Hadjimetovic role this afternoon. He was on the bench for the last game, a Scottish under-21 who's only FA Cup experience before this round, came in the qualifying rounds with Marine and Chorley previously.
Listen to this for a result at the moment. Sheffield United 1, Mansfield 4.
Wow. Sheffield United have rolled over in the second half by the sounds of things. Chris Wilder's side in deep trouble. Arsenal look home and dry at Fratton Park, leading 4-1 against Portsmouth in the 86th minute. Norwich in very comfortable position at the moment at home against Walsall by 3-0. West Ham 1, QPR 0 is the latest score, and Swansea 1, West Brom 1 as well. Those links pretty much rubbished by Sergei Yakirovich. Any possible outcome of West Ham shortlisting a possible replacement for Nuno Espirito Santo, but caveated that by saying that the interest is nice to have, but doesn't look like he's going anywhere anytime soon. He's got a job to finish here at Hull City at the moment, as 2026 sees Hull City trying to stay in the playoff places, or maybe even looking a little higher, as Christy Montgomery is back on his feet, but he's going to be brought off, and the change will see Moussa Berragi making his way on for Blackburn Rovers. He started up front in the last game, on loan from Swiss club Yidon, but he's played in France, Switzerland and Italian lower leagues. A centre midfielder by trade, and looks like he's going to go into his regular position, having had to play up front in league football recently. 0-0 the scoreline here on BBC Radio Humberside. 10 minutes into the second half. A smidge of positivity, Swanee, in comparison to the first 45, that
yes.
The Tigers have a bit of more endeavour about them.
And where the keeper's just kicked that, there's a lot of breeze down there, a lot of wind.
The wind has intensified.
Held it up there.
It's a very crisp, fresh wind as well, because it's just starting to grab us up here at the upper west stand at the MKM as Barragi boosts forward. Offside flag is up on this near side touchline against Henriksen, wearing 18 for Blackburn, as Vermeer and Coyle just have a little conversation to the right of the area, and that'll be a free kick. Sergei Yakirovich just having a word or two. 4 officials come over to speak to him, but Drame does look like he's just upped his game a little bit.
He had to, didn't he? After the start he had.
I feel like he should have had the shot earlier in the second half though.
Yeah, his shot was on for him.
McBurney trying to hold it up, but just on that occasion out jumped by O'Riordan. Throw in just past halfway for Hull City. Coyle with the ball in hand. McBurney and Miller are down the left hand touchline. The short option is Palmer, and they play a 1-2. Slater keeps the Tigers in possession. Miller to McBurney, back now towards Coyle. Miller 20 yards out left side, spots the run of Palmer into the, well, I was about to say into the area, but Barragi won it back well. Drame takes it back, then has a shot which goes wide of the target. He's clearly been told he's on borrowed time in this second half, and he wants to make sure he stays on the pitch longer, winning the ball back 25 yards out and then curling one to the right hand corner, but just wide.
Yeah, it's Drame. That was an harder chance in the first one that he'd refused. Whether someone had a go at him or said something to him there, but that was a great opportunity. Made out of his own hard work there and get the ball back, and then just tried whipping it round the keeper's left hand side. But yeah, a lot better this second half he's been.
Toff, the Blackburn Rovers goalkeeper, marshals away his defence, who at times look like they could be dropping into a change of shape and maybe into a back four, noticing that Ackerson is dropping back a lot more into a wider area, as McBurney will try and swing it out to Drame. Got the touch as well to try and feed in Ndala, cut out however by Cashin, and then Denif will twist and turn and try and find a way out in the left back position, closed down by Cody Drame, who is a completely different player in this second half.
I think it sent his brother on to you second half. It's completely different the way he started the first half to the way he started the second half. Looks a player this second half.
Palmer plays to Ndala, little touch inside, closed down.
They've all upped the game, by the way.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that, Swanee. As Coyle plays to Miller, who just didn't realise the ball was behind him. He's alert now, gets on the ball. Amir Hadjimetovic in a pocket of space, 30 yards out, has a shot. It was a daisy cutter, nearly found McBurney, but Blackburn clear away. They've gone long up the other end, as Hull City might just have to scramble back. They'll get those bodies back because the ball's drifted wide, and Hughes is across to a through ball attempted by Henriksen, looking for Blamini, and Hughes is going to stride out himself to try and get this away. A ball in field.
It's opened up the game now, hasn't it?
It had to, didn't it? I think
both mistakes being made by both teams here.
Yeah, Blackburn give it away and Palmer's on the move. Tries to slide it to McBurney, one stride away from being able to run in behind. Well covered, however, by Cashin, who plays to Denise in his left-back position. Plays to Brandon Powell. Drame, assertive, much better second half in comparison to the first, as Slater then tries to slide it through. Drame again winning it back. Hadjimetovic to McBurney, middle of the Blackburn half.
You feel like something's coming now from us, don't you?
Let's see, as Coyle plays towards Miller, left wing area. Can he skin his man into the box? He nearly did, then pushes his man down. That's a free kick Blackburn's way inside their own box. Close to the hour mark, much better showing.
A lot brighter. Like I said, it didn't take much to lift the game, was it? From that first half, probably one of the worst 45s we've seen for a long time. But they've come out, obviously the manager's had a go at them, and they're doing things a lot quicker, getting better areas and better decision making. There's just been like a couple of occasions where, like I think with Palmer tried playing that ball through from McBurney, had just another probably 2 yards of pace on it. McBurney would have had a touch and had been through on goal. That was so tight, that one.
I remember what he said after the Stoke City victory when they were 1-0 down at half time. Granted, it was away from home, but basically they're saying of if you're going to play like that, might as well go home. I feel like Jurkovic must have said, well, if you're going to play like that second half, stay in the dressing room and I'll make changes. And clearly there's been a response. Always seems to be some form of response from whatever he says at half time.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's good.
Always.
I called him a genius, Fletch, a few weeks back.
Genius?
That's a big word, wasn't it? I don't think he's that much of a genius, but I think he's really good. I got carried away. Must have got excited.
A footballing genius. A master tactician.
Yeah.
As Drame plays back to Phillips, takes it out of his 6-yard box and then swings a left foot at it to clear away, covered by Gardner-Hickman. And then launched forward by Famewa. McBurney's going to try and get underneath it. There's nothing around him as Blackburn win it back. And it's Baraji cut down by Palmer, but the ball came free. And Darla on halfway now. And Darla tries to stride inside, away from the closing down Gardner-Hickman. Now Blamini has managed to hold the ball up for Powell. Powell through the middle, covered by Drame. 2 or 3 decent tackles. Getting up the pitch, wins a free kick on the edge of his own box, and has just felt the force of that a little bit as he rolls around before getting back to his feet.
Done well there, took twice, nicked the ball, read it. I'm saying he looks miles more alert.
An hour gone, lots of players warming up from both camps. How would you change it tactically now, Swan?
I think I'd be happy as things are going at the moment. I do believe the players have responded from what the manager had to say. I think it's a matter of time now. Just picking the right pass at the right time.
Header won by Atchison on this near side touchline over Liam Miller, but a throw in up towards the final third, which is taken quickly. City trying to catch Blackburn cold. Miller tries to dart in towards the penalty area, covered by the Blackburn defence. Corner kick to come.
It's brighter. Like I say, Miller's more positive. He's seen more of the ball and he's got it. We know what he's like. He likes to have a go at his defender. On that occasion, things happen. Like I say, gets a little block on it, gets himself a corner, gives an opportunity.
Yeah,
send the big lads up again.
The wider areas certainly more switched on. They may go short from this corner kick. Miller is trotting over where Hadjimetovic is going to take it from this northwest corner. Short to Miller, delivers to the back post. It's inviting, but nobody gets a toe on it, and that one drifts out of play for a goal kick. Hughes tried to get in at the back.
Yeah, I think it was unfortunate Hughes. He had a defender between him. He tried putting his leg around the defender and hooking the ball back in or even towards goal, which he completely missed. But like I say, different angles come in from there when they took the short one, because they just dropped off, did Blackburn, and allowed us to do it.
This is 13th cup game, no goals in the game, no goals for Charlie Hughes in his cup career at least, in his bright green boots.
4-3 Sheffield United. They'll be warm there, won't they?
They must have heard you. Normally we get 4-3s and high scoring games involving Hull City, but at the minute 0-0 is the scoreline. Right in saying I think Swanee have to go back to the opening day of the season for the only 0-0.
Yeah, I think you're right. Is that Coventry away, wasn't it?
Coventry away. Remember, it happened under Grant McCann. There was a 0-0 in the Cup against Sunderland in the behind closed doors season, then a ridiculous run where there was goals for the majority of the season. And that's the same sort of vein here.
You don't often see 0-0s here.
Absolutely not.
Let's hope it doesn't change. Let's hope it doesn't change.
We've got the penalty shootout if absolutely necessary, but the game is sparking into life. Hadjimetovic, good ball to Palmer, runners left and right, tries to find McBurney. He had Miller to his left and Darla to his right, up as a three together, tried to pick out the middleman as McBurney gets on the ball with his low socks, plays towards Slater, back towards Hughes, and then wide towards Drame as they look to build again here, Hull City.
How positive he is now.
Running forward, 30 yards from goal, drops it to Hadjimetovic, in towards Ndala, right wing position, in front of him is Denif, 5 back for Blackburn, tiptoeing in, Ndala looks to get the crossing, blocked, McBurney under the keeper, but the keeper's strong, and he's gone down awkwardly after McBurney caught him, and the goalkeeper, Gaz Toff, is clutching his shoulder blade by the looks of things.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, is he just buying a moment?
And Ndala did well there as well, bit of trickery.
Yeah,
1-on-1, beat his defender, got a deflection coming in, up in the air. So McBurney's gone in for the challenge with the keeper, which he had to do, and the keeper is fine.
Haven't seen McBurney running really hot-headed in this game. 64 minutes gone. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0 here on BBC Radio Humberside. Goals flying in all over the place in the FA Cup today, but not currently at the MKM Stadium.
Yet
is the key word. Miller, left wing area, trying to get a bit of zip into Hull City's play, but covered by 2. I wonder who's going to blink first from the benches, because there seems to be dialogue taking place in the Hull City camp as Drame plays the ball towards Ndala. Drame trying to make a run towards the box again. The shackles are off him as he's just trying to dart forward.
We seem to be winning more second balls now, when, like I said, there's a ricochet where first to it, where at first half there wasn't.
Coyle inverted, tries to cross in, doesn't catch it cleanly, one bounce through towards the goalkeeper. 65 gone, Hull City 0, Blackburn 0. There's a big clearance away from the Blackburn goalkeeper, simple cutback by Hughes towards Phillips at the other end, in front of an empty south stand. The attendance this afternoon very low for the FA Cup third round, but I imagine the groans of almost every Hull City and Blackburn fan when these two were put together in the third round draw. There's a man down now for Blackburn just in back play as the ball has gone out, and it looks as though Nathan Blamini, the young forward, has gone down hurt. Looks like he's just clutching his calf, possibly from here.
If it's young kids, they'll be getting cramp later on in the game, won't they? You'd have thought. Not saying that he's cramp.
Playing at this intensity as well.
They would have played at, let's this at pace of the game before. They always put the extra effort in as well.
Blamini, former Villa youngster, got his debut on the 20th of December against Millwall through necessity rather than through choice, I think, as Hull City and Coyle makes his way back towards the halfway line. Looks as though Blackburn are going to make that change, and they're in that position now because they've kept more of their first teamers on the bench. It was probably most likely going to be a strong change as we look to see who it might be who's coming on. It might even be Igor Tyjon, the young forward who is being looked at by Arsenal.
Who's that, Fletch? Who's looking at
Igor Tyjon? Arsenal are apparently thinking about him as one for the future. He's just got into the Blackburn first team. Blamini making his way over to the east stand touchline, and Blackburn will be making that change. However, it might even be another young player who's going to be coming on. It looks as though Doherty might be coming on instead. In fact, it will be Yuki Ohashi who's going to be coming on for Blackburn Rovers. So they might be preparing a double change here because we didn't see him getting ready, but he is a forward, so he might be the change, and then they may be rotating elsewhere as Hull City with Famewa. Bit of a heavy ball by Hadjimetovic. Famewa has to take a flick inside to keep Hull City in possession. Hughes now trying to lift one in behind. Drame is hot-footed to try and get there and wins a corner for Hull City.
More positive again.
And it's all coming through the man we were criticising in the first half, Swallow.
So what wrong? So something's been said for it to happen, for it to change. You don't become that bad and then that good if no one doesn't say no to you.
So there will be 2 changes for Blackburn Rovers now. As Aidan Doherty will make his way on. It's his debut for Blackburn. And also making his way off is going to be Brandon Powell. So Doherty is a Northern Ireland under 19. He's a forward, played for Linfield a couple of seasons ago, came through their academy. And Yuki Ohashi will make his entrance, dropped from the side. Played in Japan with Hiroshima. 2 caps for Japan. And wants in the second half of the season to make a big statement that he can get on the plane to the World Cup. Corner comes in for the Tigers. Hughes trying to get underneath it, but headed away by Blackburn. Appeals for a free kick because Palmer is judged to have gone a bit aggressively underneath, and that'll be a free kick inside Blackburn's half, midpoint.
Nothing in that, to be fair. His dad's gone up, Summers is off his feet. Palmer just had a little nudge on him there, which went to ground.
24 goals across 8 matches in the FA Cup this afternoon, but none here at the moment. As
we normally guarantee you goals.
Do you know what it is? It's what people were saying on social media. It's the curse of me, I think.
It's about you.
Got to make.
Don't be saying that, you'll lose your job, Fletch.
I'll be booted back to Scarborough Athletic next week. Talking of Scarborough, Rocco Coyle and Noah Wadsworth, who are Hull City loanees, have been doing rather well on their loan spells there. As a little scout report for you, as a throw-in goes Hull City's way here on the West Stand side, which Coyle will take. So Blackburn have made 3 changes. Maybe Hull City will think about how that affects their shape and how they can adapt, as McBurney, 10 yards inside the Blackburn half, tries to take it off the defender O'Riordan. Miller, left mid, will play to Palmer. Palmer dinking one forward towards him, just lets the ball run off his shins and then runs out of play, hits the camera that's beaming this around the world. Palmer has won the ball back. Now Hadjimetovic in space, running at the area into Endala. Endala over the crossbar. He drifted to the right hand side. He looked like he wanted to try and lift it over top the Blackburn Rovers goalkeeper, couldn't do so, and it's an effort that bypasses Hull City. 20 minutes of normal time to go and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, and probably that was the best chance of the game really for ourselves. Got himself in a good position, roll to him. He's got to do better, hasn't he? Put his laces through, smash it back across the keeper there. I don't know what he tried doing, dinking him, or kicked the ball, he slipped, kicked the ball against his other foot, and it just, like I say, ricocheted over the top of the crossbar. Should have done better.
Slater plays the ball towards Drame. Drame dummied by Ndala. This is neat because McBurney's returned the gesture. Drame, a low ball into the area that deflects off Baraji, and another corner Hull City's way. What a tale of 2 halves for an individual, and it's Cody Drame who we're talking about.
That was brilliant by Drame, and the fantastic touch by McBurney when the ball came into him. He just spun it into the left back area behind the full back. Drame using his pace to get down there. Defenders got back and got a block on it. There's another Blackburn defenders on his backside in the 18-yard box. But yeah, great build-up play, good big 1-2 it was. Drame to McBurney, back to Drame, and I say they got back and got the block on it.
Yeah, players down on his back at the moment, can't see the squad number. I'll check that for you in just a moment, as Blackburn might be just thinking about another change, as they are starting to go down more readily. 18 minutes to go. Let me give you a run through of the FA Cup scores elsewhere today. Derby County 1, Leeds United 3 finished. Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 4. Here it's 0-0. Norwich 4, Walsall 1. Sheffield United 3, Mansfield 4. Swansea 1, West Brom 1, and West Ham lead 1-0 at home to Queen's Park Rangers. Manchester United versus Brighton will kick off at 4:30. As
West Ham 1-1 QPR. Is that what you said? Or 1-0?
I said 1-0, but it's literally just hit the back of the net. So maybe a few games going to extra time and penalties. Dion Denif is the man who's up on his feet. I just overheard our colleagues at Radio Lancashire possibly suggesting from the excessive amount of minutes that some of these players have played that fatigue and cramp are starting to set in, and that Blackburn seem to be walking wounded, because they are, by the looks of things, going to take no risks with Dion Denif. And I think his afternoon is over as well, as he just makes his way over to the east stand corner where the Blackburn Rovers fans are. We'll see this corner come in, 5 in amber to pick out, delivered, looking for Palmer, chests it down, then lands at the feet of Famewa, back out to Slater, 25 yards from goal. Palmer now, outside of his right foot, delivers in, needed a flick, comes to Miller, he scuffs his shot. Bread and butter for the keeper to just parcel up, but Hughes was striding in and wanted to flick that ball on, couldn't do so. Blackburn
Chance
under
again.
pressure. Soft free kick. Slater judged to have gone in on Cashin, and Gardner Hickman getting back to his feet as well. And I feel that they've got a little bit fortunate, and McBurney's gesturing towards the referee in the aftermath of that has got him a yellow card.
Yeah, and he's got a right to moan, but he goes that too far there. But for me, you're looking at, he's won the ball back. He's just lads on his backside. He's like a little breakdancing, trying to spin round. We just took the ball off him and gone the other way, and referee's blown up and stopped us having that little counter-attack down edge of the box.
2 changes coming up for Blackburn Rovers, and you might hear a ripple of applause in a moment. Yuri Ribeiro has come on, but welcoming back onto the MKM Stadium pitch, number 15 for Blackburn Rovers, Sean McLaughlin, who of course left the club in the summer, 148 appearances, as he immediately slots into that defence. As it's back underway, Blackburn Rovers from a free kick deep inside their own half. It's not the greatest. Hit diagonally out to this right hand side. 74.5 minutes gone. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. You looking forward to another 30 minutes of this?
No. You?
No comment.
I think the way we played this second half, I feel like something's coming.
Drame could happen right now. Drame diagonal towards Miller. It was just behind him. There's appeals for offside. Blackburn stopped. Miller gets back up and running towards the byline into Coyle, who tries to cross in, deflected out that time by Miller, and behind for yet another corner, which Hadjimetovic is coming over to take. But I have to say, the last 20 minutes or so, if there has been any attacking endeavour, it's been from the home team rather than the visitors.
Yeah, we're turning the screw a bit out now, whether we can get that little bit of brilliance in front of goal or that bit of fortune that we need.
Coyle to Hadjimetovic to the edge of the area with Miller. And closing him down was Doherty, as Blackburn now want to try and break the other way. Drame went diving in, and Blackburn have opened up here. Doherty running towards the box on the right hand side. He's got a step away from Slater. Drame gets a touch, still danger. Baraji with the shot, flies over. I think Hughes might have just got in the way of that. It will be a goal kick. Drame, who snapped at the heels of a Blackburn man in the build-up, has just got a yellow card for his troubles as well.
For the challenge on the halfway line down here,
which has left Gardner Hickman down on the deck.
Yeah, fair play referee, let the game flow.
Back towards halfway.
But yeah, that was a chance by Blackburn. Great feet when the lad gets in the box in the first place, and then when he plays the ball to the left hand side, I think he used it, got across and got the block on it.
Looks as though Carl Joseph might be coming on in a moment for Hull City. As short goal kick. Phillips tries to clear away, didn't get much distance on it, and Blackburn have won it back in the final third. Baraji trying to now move the ball to McLaughlin. McLaughlin out to the left wing, as Gardner Hickman now moves the ball back towards Baraji. Almost a line of 5 waiting for Blackburn in a rare forage forward in this second half. Hull City 0, Blackburn 0, 77 minutes on the clock in this FA Cup third round encounter. Big diagonal played into the box, right underneath it is Coyle, and a simple header back towards Phillips. Miller doesn't spot the runner of Aitchison coming towards him.
I think it was Phillips that didn't spot the runner. It was a hard ball to take that.
There's no call for him, was there? Blackburn have won it back in the Hull City half. It's Gardner Hickman. He's got the ball in the centre.
They're putting a bit of pressure on now. They look dangerous.
Sudden. And here comes Ribeiro into the penalty area. Blackburn stand up a ball to the back stick, but then deflected behind for a corner kick. That's got the Blackburn fans excited away to our left hand side. 0-0 it remains.
70 odd minutes to make it into a game, really, hasn't it?
Chances have been very rare throughout this encounter. As Gardner Hickman makes his way over, Blackburn are going to be happy here to send a few more forward in a quest to try and get in front. Doherty waits on the edge, but there's only Ribeiro who's staying back, and even the keeper's on halfway as Blackburn deliver to the front of the 6-yard box. A few players go down, nothing given by the referee, no appeals from anybody as Ndala loses it 30 yards from goal. Blackburn try and play wide, and it's hit the referee Will Finney, who stops the game. Blackburn unhappy about it because they feel that there was no reason to stop.
A good job he did, because it ricocheted into the path of the Blackburn player there.
Yeah, and that's why they're annoyed at that, because they were in possession anyway, but you have to stop the game in those circumstances. As a drop ball will take place then 30 yards to the left of Hull City's penalty area. And they've been reluctant to make changes, but they are going to make a change in a moment. Hull City, and Carl Joseph is going to be coming on in a moment, as Blackburn will get the drop ball. Everyone back behind the ball from Hull City as they look to find a ball to the outside. It's an awful pass, and suddenly Miller can try a breakaway for the Tigers. 40 yards, if not more, he advanced forward, then loses his footing. Nobody around him to be a passing option.
He was going down wrong avenue, wasn't he? No bouncers on
wide.
both sides of that street. You're never getting past.
City have become desperate. They've got Amber and Rory behind the goal in the north stand trying to cheer them on.
They need to put them up front.
Get them signed up. Hughes in the right back position temporarily, hits the reset button and goes towards Dylan Phillips. Joseph waiting patiently as Vermeer will take the ball away from Doherty. Joseph, the former Blackpool and Wigan man, rivals of course of the Red Rose outfit. As Phillips brings the ball out of his box and hits it long, looking for Miller. Solid header by Aitchison. And Coyle trying to be robust. Vermeer clears away as just for the last 2 or 3 minutes game's got a bit scrappy again, but Slater gets it down.
That didn't mean to go there.
Drame
we'll take it.
Past halfway, just scuffed his pass towards Ndala, looking for some movement ahead of him. Slater's taken up a temporary striker's role. He will try and slide the ball, and that's been the story of the day, hasn't it, from an attacking perspective. There has not been that incisive through ball which we're used to seeing. Miller wins the ball back with Palmer, and Miller now to McBurney. No one in the box. McBurney will try and play it in low. He didn't get his head up, didn't have a scan, and that's easy for the goalkeeper to come and sweep up. 0-0.
Yeah, McBurney did all he possibly could there. There's a touch there, he's probably going to take it out of play, so best spin and try and whip her in where he'd been looking then at, I think it was Slater was probably the closest one that's trying to break his neck to get in there. There's a double substitutions coming on here.
Yep, David Akintola is also going to be coming on for Hull City. We'll see those changes, despite Hull City wanting to get on with it.
Palmer and Ndala, is it?
Well, Ndala's one of them. Ndala will make his way off. And then we'll see the board go up to see who Carl Joseph is going to replace.
Palmer, is it? Let's have a look.
Well, he's walking over already. So Akintola and Joseph will come on. And the ripple of applause for Casey Palmer, who I have to say from the get-go has been the only one really for a full 80 minutes as the clock stands at the minute. He's the one who's been bustling about and trying to win the ball back. It's just taken
it's worked out
a few
in
minutes
there.
for everyone else.
It's not been that quality we wanted, but now we've got energy on the field.
And Carl Joseph, who will run and press all afternoon. He's got a short supply of minutes to try and affect the game. One of his most prolific seasons so far in his career. Drame.
No extra time, please. It's not the day that you don't want it.
You said it, I was thinking it. There's Akintola.
If it has to, we will take it if we're going to get through, but come on, boys.
Yeah, definitely don't want another L next to their name in regards to cup football. Grant McCann, the last manager to win a cup game, or manage a cup game. As the ball goes back towards Phillips, to the right of his penalty spot. There's now to Hughes. Hughes cuts back and goes to Phillips. 7.5 minutes to go. As Hadjimetovic tries to help it on its way down the right hand side. Akintola has gone to the right wing, Miller on the left, Joseph playing as 10 at the moment. There's a back pass from City. Just about gets back towards Phillips, even though there was a bit of pressure on the horizon from Kashi. And Darla getting a ripple of applause as he makes his way around the west stand. Broken up though by City and Miller. Can he get the through ball towards McBurney? First time he's been free. Miller trying to dribble into the box to the left, tries to cross in, two though in green in front of him, and that's a wasted chance really for Hull City. I don't think Miller realised McBurney was as free as he was.
I do think it was, but I just think the player in between it struggling to get that pass away to him.
Blackburn now coming the other way, and Hughes is the only one back. There's a shot from deep, 20 yards out, which flies over the crossbar from Doherty on his debut for Blackburn Rovers. Lacked the quality, arched his back and sent that one soaring into the south stand.
He saw his name in lights, didn't he? He saw him flashing in lights.
So many players.
Go home and watch himself on Match of Day, putting that in top corner of the stand, lad.
So many players have made their debuts in cup football and had a tale to tell.
It's easy for you to say. Do you want my teeth?
Yeah, go on, please. The white.
You sure? Well, they're not mine. Sorry, Fletch.
Just caught off my stride, but I think that's the cold now. Brains rotting away as it's 0-0 here at the MKM Stadium. 6 minutes of normal time to go. Reminder, extra time and penalties if these two can't be separated. Just feels like Phillips and Toff, both goalkeepers, could take their goalie gloves off and put them back in their packets when they get back onto a team bus and take them back to the shop if they wanted to. They haven't got busy at either end. Defenders have neutralised when needed as Miller gets onto a long ball, just runs out of room though as he tries to keep it in, hits his shin and goes behind for a goal kick. So they have substitutions in the bank for later on here, Hull City, and they might need them the way this is going if they are to get another 30 minutes, which Blackburn Rovers will not be happy with given their outcry of fatigue and injuries. The attendance on the big screen this afternoon, 6,627.
Well done to you, lads. Well done, the ladies and kids,
to turn up in the borderline freezing cold temperatures and the rain and the wind. It hasn't had the glamour this afternoon
yet. Keep saying that word, Donna. Yet.
Just trying to coax that bit of magic as Famewa gets a little bit lucky. He was dawdling on the ball in defence and he's given it away. The offside flag has come to his rescue. Doherty has scored a magnificent goal after the whistle.
I think he'd have still played that shot if the referee hadn't blown up.
Got his left foot around it. Famewa though, just very sluggish. Tried to draw away the oncoming press and then fancied doing the same trick again and almost got caught out.
They did get caught out.
As Drame
bit of luck
plays towards Slater. Throw in past halfway for the 6,500 in attendance. They'll be getting a bit more game watching time as things stand. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0 here on BBC Radio Humberside. Ollie McBurney trying to win the ball back for Akintola. You're just starting to hear the murmurings of frustration now from the Hull City fans. Heard it a couple of times from those in the away end as Akintola gives away a free kick and he feels that was a little bit harsh. Feels there was a bit of an honest wrestle going on the touchline on the far side. Referee didn't see it that way. Linesman flagged vigorously as Blackburn Rovers could, if they wanted to, load players forward, but they don't seem to have that level of intensity, do they, at the moment? 3 minutes to go.
No, I think they're happy how where things are going. Well, they will be, won't the kids? It's a great result for them if it stays like this.
It's played forward by the former Tiger McLaughlin. Hughes tries to sweep it away. Gardner Hickman collects. Out on the far side now towards Okashi, who's trying to find a way past Drame, who stands his ground and then tries to clear away. Throw in down near the final third again. As Blackburn will leave this for the long throw of Lewis Miller. McLaughlin, one of those. Might I remind listeners, the former Hull City man. Also in the mix is Connor O'Riordan. And then Henriksen, left side of the 6-yard box. Nobody around Phillips.
Come on, lad.
Hurrying along. It comes to the front of the 6-yard box. Pressure and sting taken out of it by Drame. Partially cleared by the Tigers. A couple of headers back towards the box before Drame again clears away. His attempted header by Joseph couldn't find Miller as it runs back down towards Toff. And his purple kit, middle of his own half, now sends it forwards. And Jemetovic said at the start of the game how he could stamp down his authority on this, but the ball has not been played to the centre of midfield, has it?
He's not dictating on it, has he?
If anything, it's the defenders who've tried to dictate. As Blackburn win it back, defenders have to do their job here as the ball is swung in. Header won by Vermeer. Coyle gets a touch, won back by Aitchison. Slater has to come in 30 yards out to try and win it back. Here's Baraji. Okoshi will now play into the penalty area, and then a low ball played across, but nobody in a green shirt got on the end of it. Hull City try and clear, but they are the ones now, the visitors, who are just pressurising as we enter the 90th minute. Gardner Hickman, left side, back towards Beraji once again, takes a big touch or two, 35 yards out, tries to slide it into the area, trying to drop it off then to Okoshi, and Vermeer is in real pain, clutching his shin. He went in on a 50-50.
Oh, that looked nasty. Two players truly committed to the one to the shot and one to the block, and they both stayed down.
Well, Ohashi went down first, but then Vermeer rolling around and gesturing that he's in real pain. He's still rolling around now, and his legs, he's in real pain and real discomfort down there.
Blackburn player looks like he's getting up first.
Yeah, Hashi is just trying to, I think, take the soreness out of his leg, but Vermeer must have bashed his shin. He's thankfully up on his feet, and that's good to see. I think he might have been caught right around the top of the
right, brilliant
ankle.
7 minutes. Thank you.
7 more minutes left to go.
Just looked to the left, James Hogarth crying. He's that cold when he saw that 7 minutes go.
Did his eyes roll as well in the first place?
He's crying, is Jim.
A nod of the head from Mr. Hogarth.
Come on, Jim.
Sorry to dob you in it, Jim.
There's a proper supporter as well, Jim, and he's crying, so imagine what some fans down there are like.
Oh, dearie me. What's the saying? Is it one for the purist? Not one for the purist. Phillips rolls the ball out of the box.
Come on, let's have a good finish.
7 minutes to find
there we go.
a possible winner. Miller, left wing, McBurney up there with him. Miller looking inside, drills the ball in, comes towards Akintola, but he let the ball run through his legs and out of play for a goal kick.
I don't think he let it. I think he tried shooting and he miskicked it, went between his legs. That was set up for us.
That would have been the moment.
That was a great ball in as well, a great run on.
You went full Gary Neville.
Hey.
You went full Gary Neville then.
That's a chance.
I mean, that the East Stand would have celebrated with relief, I think, rather than pure excitement. Being put out of their misery this afternoon. The gallant effort of those who've been watching this in the cold. Another 30 minutes on the horizon in case things change in the next 5.5 minutes. Blackburn lump it forward with no real purpose. Back towards Phillips outside his box. The East Stand try and give us a few decibels to try and coax Hull City forward. There's Phillips, long ball looking for Miller, headed by Aitchison. And in comes Carl Joseph. First time we've really seen him in the final third. Wins a throw-in for the Tigers. And Coyle with the ball in his hands. As the game remains 0-0. 92 minutes on the clock. 7 minutes of stoppage time. Baraji plays to Slater. Coyle now. Coyle advanced. Miller and Joseph connect. Can he feed it to Slater? Hadjimetovic, I beg your pardon. On he strides, 20 yards out. Shoots! Deflected! Oh, into the side netting. The East Stand thought it was in. The net rippled. And they were so excited that the net rippled. Oh, they thought it was in. Quick corner kick delivered by Drame. Header back towards Miller, edge of the penalty area. Hughes is waiting for a short pass. Miller tries to carve out a cross. That's blocked. Appeals for handball out of desperation from those in Hull City corners. Blackburn Rovers clear. And wow, Hadjimetovic nearly gave us the grandstand finish that he thought he had.
Some of them did, but from this angle we knew the deflection could have gone anywhere.
Deflected shot on the way through. Low arrowing effort. Had the Blackburn keeper Toft wrong-footed. And now Ohashi for Blackburn Rovers. It's their turn to come the other way. Ball delivered into the box, and Hull City haven't got rid of it just yet. Doherty lets it run across. Shot from Blackburn on the far side. That time by Ribeiro, and it flashes across with no real danger. And that will be a goal kick. Change coming up for Hull City, and it's going to be Liam Miller making way. And on in his place is the player who got his debut for Hull City against Blackburn Rovers. Carthel McCarthy enters the fray.
See how they go here. He's going to sit in the midfield, push Slater a bit higher up.
Yeah, Joseph now taking up that left wing role. McBurney stays through the middle with Akintola. McCarthy, the way things are going, is going to get at least a half an hour run out, but let's see what happens, because both teams are...
Not necessarily, Fletch.
Anything can happen in the next few minutes, as Coyle gets in a right angle on this near side touchline with Doherty. Doherty's been left in a heat. Referee Finney just tells Hull City to wait because the winger is slow to his feet. Thought there might have been an injury. Into the 95th minute, Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. As the Tigers, with Coyle on this left hand side, back to Famewa, then back towards Phillips all the way. Goals are plenty elsewhere, but we haven't seen any here so far. Time ticking. There's a long ball from Phillips in towards Baraji. Slater, can he win it back in the Blackburn half? He did momentarily towards Ryden, who now clears the ball away. Famewa eyes on it all the time, and then Coyle is caught that time. A little bit cheeky, I thought, from Henriksen, just going for the man and not the ball. There's Jakirovic, Hull City manager, arms behind his back at the minute. Hasn't been too animated a figure this afternoon, but I think both managers, even though they've been trying to coax some more attacking flair out of their two teams, have seen that it's been a struggle for a full attacking, purposeful performance from either team, as Famewa will launch it long, looking for McBurney, who's trying to get away from the presence of O'Riordan into the area. Stays on his feet as Aitchison came across. Corner. Aitchison judged to have touched it last. Final minute of the game, Peter Swan.
Please. Please.
The desperation in your voice tells us everything.
Come on, boys.
Plenty forward for Hull City. Blackburn have left one up top. Coyle keeps an eye on him, as Joseph is going to deliver, I think. In it swings. It was Hadjimetovic, I beg your pardon. Saw the two on the back of his shirt. Coyle cuts out a potential breakaway from Blackburn, as they'll get the throw in. 40 seconds left of the 7 minutes. And a gear reached, I think, in terms of the second half, but it's fallen flat at times again between the 46th and 90th minute, that's for sure, as another throw-in takes place, and there's little urgency. It's almost as if both teams can sense what's about to come, and I think it's more through necessity rather than of want what could happen in a few seconds' time. Blackburn throw the ball down the line. Doherty to the right wing position. Coyle tracks back in as the 7 minutes are up. Ball into the area. Phillips temporarily slipping. Just got back up behind the ball as he clutches it. And a long ball away trying to find Akintola. And Akintola is hot-footed. Gets away from McLaughlin, but then he gets a stride back on him and is able to just move the ball in field towards Baraji. Tries to clear forward. Doesn't find anyone in green. Hughes on halfway. We're at the discretion of the referee as we're into the 98th minute. Clipped forward looking for Slater. Headed away by Blackburn. And there is the final whistle to signify the end of 90 minutes. A hush descends on the MKM Stadium, because even though it was an attempt to get a bit of excitement and flair, there was no longevity in it, Peter Swan, and we're going to have another 30 minutes between these two deadlocked at 0-0.
Yeah, if you don't start right in game, you struggle to kick on, even though they come out of the second half and they started really well. And if they start like that in the game, they can pick it up again for the second half, and you'd expect them to go on and win it, which I do expect them to go on and win it in the extra time. But it took a bit of getting going, and when the opportunities have been very, very limited, then the same been half chances, and when they've come, they're either miskicked them, read it right, and it's end of day. We're still in the cup at the moment. Like I say, we've got half an hour to put things right, and the way it's been going in that second half, they've put things right.
We'll see. Full time here at the MKM Stadium for now, at least. We've got another 30 minutes. Players in their huddles. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Thank you, Fletch. BBC Radio Humberside. So not to be in regulation 90 minutes for either Hull City or Blackburn Rovers. The two sets of players just going about their plans for this extra time. It's history repeating itself for Hull City as well. We were in this position a year ago when the Tigers welcomed Doncaster, Grant McCann's Doncaster, to the MKM Stadium. So once again, a third round tie involving Hull City goes to added time, as Hull City once again are struggling to get past the third round. The last time they did it was 6 years ago, and the last time they won an FA Cup tie was November 2020. So once again, the Tigers struggling to sort of reverse that history. Let me bring you the full-time results from games that have been completed today. Earlier in the day, Derby County 1, Leeds United 3, Portsmouth 1, Arsenal 4, hat-trick in that for Gabriel Martinelli, and Arsenal actually coming from behind after Portsmouth scored early on in the game. Goalless, of course, here at the MKM Stadium. Big win for Norwich City over Walsall. They've beaten the side from the West Midlands at Carrow Road by 5-1. Sheffield United 3, Mansfield Town 4. So Sheffield United unable, despite coming back in the second half, to see off their opponents. So the day's one surprise result is probably that one as things stand. Swansea City and West Bromwich Albion, like our game, has gone to extra time, 1-1 in regulation time. Certainly looking like the same can be said for the game between West Ham and Queen's Park Rangers. That also is 1-1 and looking to go into extra time. And it's goalless in a game that's just kicked off between Manchester United and Brighton and Hove Albion. Live reaction to come from this game after the conclusion of it, hopefully within added time, within extra time rather than penalties. We'll speak to the Hull City head coach, Sergei Yakirovich. The likelihood is that will be on BBC Sounds and not live on air. We'll have reaction, of course, tomorrow from 6 o'clock and on breakfast in our sports news here on BBC Radio Humberside when you wake up between 6 and 10 with the breakfast team tomorrow morning. So there is a substitution to start this extra time. Let's hand you back to your commentary team. Can Hull City join Grimsby Town in the fourth round draw? We're about to find out in the company of Swanee and James Fletcher.
Thank you, James. Yep, that change for Blackburn Rovers is a change in their defence. Conor O'Riordan making way. George Pratt is coming on, the young centre-half who's been involved in league action. And I have to say, is it too obvious to say, Swanee, that because he's coming into this cold that you target him straight away if Hull City can get forward?
What you do know that there's going to be a goal in the first 5 minutes. You're thinking why they're not scoring in 90 minutes. You do know that, don't you?
just basically because it's a certain law.
Sorry, that's my hand touching your leg, Fletch. I'm trying to get my blanket back on.
Go on.
It's stuck.
I'll give you a helping hand. Come here.
Oh, that's not the blanket, Fletch.
That's the wire of my microphone.
We got it.
Calm down, matron.
Have you got it? We've got to get ourselves in position, haven't we, lad?
We have. 0-0.
Right, there's going to be a goal in the first 5
then.
minutes. We know that. Why has it not been done in 90? Right, come on, lads, now.
Well, McBurney and Akintola to hot off the start on the halfway line as Hull City will attack towards the south stand as we have 30 more minutes of FA Cup action at least, and then if they still can't be separated, spot kicks it will be as McBurney flicks it on towards Akintola. McBurney then trying to play towards Joseph, comes to Slate 18 yards out. Blackburn scrambling to get it away. McCarthy then dives in as a rather fast-paced start to this extra time. And then Toft calms everything back down again, and it will be cleared away by Blackburn Rovers. Just to give you a reminder of the team playing for Hull City as the start of extra time. No changes for them into the final 30 minutes. Phillips is in goal. The back four is Drame, Hughes, Vermeer and Coyle. That's been unaltered. Carfel McCarthy screens in front of them with Hadjimetovic and Slater. And then Akintola, Joseph are the wingers with McBurney up front. Drame, much better performance in the second 45 minutes over the first, as Hughes slides it through now to Hadjimetovic, 4 in the area, cross supplied, first block comes in, nearly found its way to Slater as Blackburn clear away for a throw-in on this near stand touchline. Sergei Kirovic clasps his hands together. A bit of a response from whatever's just been said on the touchline. Drame tries to cross in, plays to Hadjimetovic, 4 still waiting in the box, delivered to the back post, McBurney underneath it, and then Slater, it hits the roof of the net. Now Sergei Yakirovic is demanding a penalty. Most of his backroom staff are up off their feet as well. McBurney leads the protest on the pitch as Slater will eventually get back to his feet. But for me, Honest coming together, just challenging a high ball, Swanee.
Yeah, and not the biggest in Slater's serve. He's always going to come out second worst, and that's what happened. He's up and running, he's fine.
Slater, first FA Cup game back behind closed doors against Fleetwood 5.5 years ago when he turned up as a loanee from Sheffield United.
How much did they pay for him?
I think it was 50 grand.
50 grand?
50 grand.
Not bad money spent, is it?
Not bad. What can you get with 50 grand these days, eh? As Hughes.
Not much.
McCarthy plays towards Drame. Wish I had 50 grand. McCarthy plays.
You carry on working like you're doing. You're on your way, mate.
I'll try. I'll carry on. Especially if I'm working long Sunday afternoons like this. As 0-0 is the scoreline in the darkness here at the MKM Stadium. The feeling of a night game, feeling of a League Cup game, if you like. Cold, chilly Sunday evening now. As Hughes plays to Phillips in towards Vermeer, just outside his area on the left-hand side. As he tries to twist and turn away from Doherty.
Did well in the end, got himself out of trouble.
Yeah, needed maybe an extra man in pressure from a Blackburn perspective to close him down. Free kick near halfway. As Manchester United have kicked off against Brighton at Old Trafford. 26 goals elsewhere in the FA Cup.
None here.
None here. And to be honest, Swanee, has it ever looked like we've had one so far?
No, but I feel one in this 30 minutes.
Well, we're into the 94th minute, so you've got 60 seconds left on your prediction. And
what did I say?
You said first goal in the first 5 minutes as McCarthy has won it back in the left wing position, and there's a chance here. McCarthy, he will now slide it towards McBurney. He's just a bit wrong-footed as Aitchison closes in and is able to play it towards Baraji. Your prediction's got 60 seconds left to come true as the ball runs out of play for a throw in Hull City's way just inside the Blackburn half, but that little bit of energy from McCarthy trying to give us a bit of excitement.
Yeah, and I didn't think it opened up. I thought because he'd bet a couple of players there, he should have carried on the run, really, the momentum of it. I don't think McBurney expected that pass to be slid through for him there and didn't see it until late.
Hughes, he will now stride forward, and Hashi has just body checked him. Free kick in the midpoint of the Hull City half, and he just rolls the ball out himself, tries to clear it forward. Hughes searching for Slater as Joseph collects left wing area. Blackburn just a bit disjointed that time between defence and midfield lines. Slater going in to win it again, and then Joseph slides in as they just get a bit more courageous, but Blackburn find a way through past halfway, trying to play the ball forwards up towards Hashi, and that's nodded back towards Phillips. 0-0, 3, 2, 1, and that's your 5 minutes up, Swanee, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry about that.
I admire
I was living in up.
I admire the optimism. As now it's with Louis Coyle. Delivers a cross into the area. It's run through towards Akintola, right side. Back towards McCarthy. 20 yards out. Takes a shot. Deflected. Pops out to Slater. 20 yards from goal again. McCarthy once more. Will now move it right towards Akintola. Akintola in a right wing position, plays it into the box. This is a chance. Slater trying to cut it back. There's enough bodies in green there to turn it behind for a corner kick.
It's better, isn't it? They're getting stronger. Chances are coming now. Quick corner here.
Yep, they take it. Akintola to Hadjimetovic, delivers towards the 6-yard line, headed down, comes back to Hughes, trying to create that yard of space, flicks it to Slater. Good block comes in from Pratt. Back out towards Famewa, drags it left. He's got to try and supply the cross, dances past one man, then looks back to Coyle, takes it on his right foot, delivers the in-swinger, looking for Joseph, who heads it over the bar. Never really got underneath. Well, he did get underneath it, too much underneath it, but he was never really set in a position to attack the goal. Remains 0-0.
Yeah, it's a great ball in by Coyle, like I say, from the left-hand side, putting his right foot, so it's curling straight down to the keeper. And I'm looking there, as Joseph goes in, he'd probably been better just missing that, because the keeper expecting a little touch, and he might have been wrong-footed him there. If he'd just missed it, it might have even just flown past him.
Might have gone into that corridor of uncertainty.
Yeah.
As Blackburn just take the pressure off with a slow goal kick out. 97 minutes on the clock here at the MKM Stadium of extra time, not stoppage time for anyone joining us late on BBC Radio Humberside. Pratt in the centre circle for Blackburn, plays it forward to a fellow substitute in Bahaji, and then he will look to go down the left-hand side. McCarthy staying with him. McCarthy bumps him once, but Bahaji's still going to the byline. Ran out of room, in comes a cross, and then a bicycle kick from Ohashi, which is safely into the breadbasket of Dylan Phillips. Rolls it out to Slater as the Tigers look to launch a break, whilst Blackburn are still trudging back. McBurney, neat ball with the right foot towards Joseph. Joseph now looking to switch the play. Picks out Akintola just over his head. Out for a throw in. Urgency, isn't there? Much more urgency.
Movement, like I say, and the sharpness of the passing, looking forward quicker. Akintola there, he's got space behind him. He can step another 5-10 yards further back, and the pass don't have to be as accurate then, it could drop into his path.
But Pratt told to take a few yards back. Referee Finney trying to make that point as the ball is with Blackburn Rovers in their final third. A reminder of the draw will take place tomorrow evening as Will Finney blows the whistle for a second time for Pratt to go back. He wants some consultation with the linesman of where he should be stood, and Hull City will just allow him here to have this conversation. Eventually gets the game back underway, searching for Ohashi into Doherty, and then a ball in behind now for Ohashi. Now Phillips has committed and was a stride away from being off, and Ohashi couldn't get there in time, cleared away. Now towards Ribeiro, playing as a left wing back if you like, since coming on the pitch. Drame partners up with Akintola, neat foot away, caught by Ribeiro.
Early in the game, that'd have been a booking.
The referee's going to let it go now, I think. Akintola up and hobbling. The contrast from the last
as the rain comes down again.
Hull City game I did against QPR, the urgency's been really lacking. And as you say, Swanee, the conditions aren't going to be nice to walk home in for the majority of those who've turned out today. 6,627 through the gate. As Akintola collects right wing position. 99th minute. Drame, right hand side. His performance has bettered as the game's gone on. McCarthy now moving that ball over towards Coyle. 4 in the area again. Low ball played in. Between Joseph and Slater that time. Blackburn read the play, and now Ohashi wants to move the other way. Bit of pace in his legs. Hughes staying with him and gets his body in the way as Ohashi tried to take a big touch around him. Comes now to Gardner Hickman. Diagonal ball trying to pick out on that far side the winger, and given away there by Henriksson. Not too much in the way of wanting to track back from the Swede either, as Akintola in the centre circle now. Darts past Gardner Hickman. Tiredness maybe kicking in for Blackburn. Akintola with just 1 goal this season. Was thinking about striding forward, saw the company of Hadjimetovic into Carful McCarthy. Drops it back to Hadjimetovic, and then Baraji comes in and halts Hull City's progress, throwing on this near side touchline.
Yeah, the manager's screaming for someone to get down this right hand side. I think it's Amir that making no movement in there. The space was in front for him to...
Hughes into McBurney with the header, and that's a big save, and then volleyed by Akintola onto the bar. McBurney then follows up, but it's offside. That suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and it's because Hughes delivered a wicked ball in and the best two moments in the space of seconds, smashing the bar Akintola, and McBurney couldn't have planted his header any sweeter. Great stop from the keeper.
Yeah, great strike on it by both players. Great ball in. McBurney must have thought the power he's got on it going past the keeper, but fortunate or unfortunate for us, straight at him. And when it come back out again, what a strike. Akintola struck, you couldn't have hit any sweeter. And some of them what you normally see go top of the stand. I'm not sure if the crossbar or the top of the post there, but how close was that? That's it. We've been waiting 100 minutes to see something like that, to kick it off, but we're getting there. And
McBurney's waited 100 minutes for a chance of that nature. Coming into this one, 7 goals in 9 cup games, but that's his first sniff, really, and it almost had Blackburn breached. As Slater comes in and wins the ball back smartly 30 yards from his own goal line, and then outside of the foot plays it wide to Carl Joseph.
He's winning him, Joseph, with his pace running at him.
Yep, here he goes again, through ball, plays to McBurney, who just halts the progress. He's waiting for options on his outside, now looks in field, plays to McCarthy, tries to slide the ball to Joseph, who wasn't...
Not a bad option.
He was a bit wrong-footed there, wasn't he, I think, Joseph? But McCarthy, good ingenuity.
Yeah, the pace that he played the pass at had to be straight at his feet. Then he could have had a touch and probably tried whipping it around the keeper's left-hand side, but it just overhit the pass, or not accurate enough.
3 minutes to go in the first period of extra time. Looks as though the final 2 outfield changes that are available to Sergei Kiric of more attacking nature. One of them being Hugh Parker from the academy. And also,
that'd be nice,
Matty Joseph. Who's Matty Joseph? Matty Jacob coming on. Oh dear, bring back Mike White as the ball goes out for a throw-in on this near side. No Ennis Destan to note, of course, today. Not involved at all, as Drame takes the throw-in. Crooks out ahead of the game through the warm-up. So City a man light on the bench, which will ask Sergei Kiric about whenever this game comes to an end. There's Toff. Oh, he slipped moving back into his own penalty area, receiving a back pass. Wow, that was nip and tuck, and Slater nearly got in. Wow, that was...
He was 5-6 yards outside his box, got a big oof. He went to try and play it back into his own box so he could collect it, and slipped on the way back in.
And found a banana skin on the pitch as Blackburn now come the other way. 30 yards from goal, they try and deliver, and Phillips has to divert that ball away. As on that occasion, it looked like Henriksen went for it, didn't he? It looked like a cross at first.
I thought it was a cross, but nearly dipped in that top corner there. Phillips had to deal with it, push it away for a corner.
Goalkeeper of Blackburn, Toff, just stretching, making sure he's all right, as the corner will come in a moment for Blackburn Rovers. See those 2 changes in a moment for Hull City. Blackburn fans, around 500 of them in the rain, on their feet, huddled together to see if their side will break the deadlock now. 105th minute we're about to tick into as the ball's delivered to the 6-yard box. There was a little push, comes out to Doherty. Oh, McBurney went diving in. I thought he went in 2-footed at first, but thankfully it was clean. Just led in with 1 foot, and then the second one followed very quickly.
There, he got to the danger straight away to McBurney. The amount of times he does that in games, unbelievable.
Aggressive, and trying to keep that spark of Hull City. As a throw-in will come Blackburn's way, and Miller, the captain of Blackburn, the Australian international, will dry the ball as much as possible, as he still tries to line up a long throw-in. Everyone back in amber colours. Here comes Miller's throw-in, angled towards the front of the 6-yard box. Akintola, very neat flick away, and now he gets on his bike and he goes striding down the right-hand side. There is a covering defender, however. Akintola leaves a boot on Ribeiro. That will be a free kick. Ribeiro did very well there.
He'd done the hardest bit. He'd got to the goal side, and then he had space in front of him. It plays like a 30-yard pass, expecting to get on it, where it makes it easy for the defender to come across and clear up.
He's
got to keep the ball closer to him there.
Didn't get his head up, did he? Just the 1 minute of added time this time, Swanee. After the 12 minutes of added time, we had to try and resolve this matter in the normal time. So Long ball played forward by Blackburn from that resulting free kick on this left-hand side. Hashi pressurises Hughes. Phillips has got to be hot-footed, gets it away. There's just a runner there from Doherty up towards McBurney. On the halfway line, Blackburn win it back. Hashi trying to flick it round the door. Drame clears. McBurney chests it down in towards Ribeiro though as Blackburn win it back. McBurney is rolling around, but he's going to get back to his feet as Blackburn have a few seconds to muster maybe the last attack of this first period of extra time. George Pratt will receive the balls played square from the Blackburn defence. He's up to the final third. Low ball played in. Hughes gets his body in the way. Ball spirals up into the air as McCarthy tries to help it out. And that is the final action of the first 15 minutes. They'll quickly switch round and go again, Peter Swan. But that chance from Akintola clattering the bar and the McBurney header the highlight, which could spark another quarter of an hour of excitement.
Well, it has sparked it, hasn't it? We've got stronger as the game's gone on. Chances, not many, but they're coming. Like saying, that was two great opportunities there in space of 10 seconds, wasn't it? But it's coming. I feel it's coming. I do feel there's going to be a goal in the game.
Changes are going to be coming up. John Egan is going to be coming on in a moment for Hull City. We'll keep an eye on any other movements, but for a very short period at least here, half-time in extra time, and still no change in the scoreline. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Fletch, thank you very much for that. So we go on with a second period of extra time here on Humberside Sport Live from BBC Radio Humberside. You can, by the way, share your thoughts on the game. We'll have a very brief wrap up and get some thoughts from the City fans. If you've been listening this afternoon, you can text me 81333, start the message with the letters RH. You can WhatsApp as well, 08000 321 333. Brighton have taken the lead at Manchester United in the third round of the FA Cup. Gruder with a goal after 12 minutes, 10 minutes into, certainly another 10 minutes has gone in that game, well past the 20-minute mark. West Ham and Queen's Park Rangers, they've also gone to extra time, and West Ham have now taken the lead. 2-1 they lead Queen's Park Rangers at the Olympic Stadium, and Swansea and West Brom still level at 1 apiece into extra time. City about to make a change. We're about to get underway for the second period of extra time in the company of Peter Swan and James Fletcher.
Thank you again, James. And that change sees John Egan come on for Akin Famewa. John Egan just a couple of seasons ago, part of Sheffield United's forage to Wembley in the semi-final before being halted by Manchester City. Not the same atmosphere as the home of football. The 6,500 who've turned out here at the MKM Stadium. 15 more minutes to try and see an opening between these two, and barring that, it will be like 12 months ago, where penalties will have to do split.
Do you like penalties, Fletch?
I do and I don't. I do like a penalty shootout, but whenever it's involving a club that you're involved with, the nervousness kicks in a little bit.
It's too much, isn't it?
And Hull City's track record in recent times isn't the greatest, having lost to Wrexham, of course, at the start of the year. And coincidentally, that went straight to penalties after the 3-3 draw. And this one, 0-0. Another 30 minutes to try and split these two.
15, Fletch. We've had 15 already.
We have, haven't we?
They'll be given an extra more time.
You just want the shootout now, don't you? Or at least a goal.
No, we need us to score. I think we'll score in this 15.
Hughes has just slipped off the out of play. Blackburn coming forward, trying to play a ball in. Hashi will not be able to get onto the deep cross from Blackburn from the left-hand side, and that one will run straight into the hands of Dylan Phillips, who, after 106 minutes, Swanee, has not really been tested, has he?
I was thinking, looking down at my sheet there, thought he had a save to make, has he?
He's basically hoovered up stuff that's got into the penalty area. Meanwhile, Banas Toff, the Hungarian goalkeeper, making one crucial save from McBurney's bullet header. The rebound clattering the crossbar from Akintola in the first period of extra time. McBurney still on the pitch. City have another change if they want to use it as Blackburn come forward. Hashi will move the ball to Ribeiro on the left hand side. In front of him is Cody Drame. Ball is back with George Pratt, 25 yards from goal. Blackburn exploring the left hand channel. Back to Gardner Hickman. Gardner Hickman with all but McBurney back behind the ball. Chipped into the penalty area on the left. Hashi dabs the ball back towards Ribeiro once again. Now worked back towards Pratt. Into Gardner Hickman as Blackburn are patient after the first couple of minutes of the second period of extra time. 0-0 at the moment here on BBC Radio Humberside. Ribeiro, ball's played through towards Bahaji. There is a runner right on this extreme right touchline, but they're going down the middle. Blackburn cut out by Hughes, and Slater is now looking to inject that pace, tries to play to McBurney, who was flat-footed and closed down immediately. So ball swung in by Miller, not the best of quality from Blackburn Rovers, and Hull City deal with it accordingly. McBurney now 15 yards from halfway on the right, will play to Hadjimetovic. Drame through to McBurney again. He's waiting for that ball down the right hand side, drops it back instead to Hadjimetovic. McCarthy plays back towards Hughes, and Hughes puts a bit of mustard on the pass towards Coyle as he goes down this left hand side. Joseph is to his outside and finds him. He's now looking to move in field into the centre of the Blackburn half. Hadjimetovic in space, tries to drop it through to Akintola. Akintola trying to then lay it off towards McBurney. Partial clearance. Drame tries to get it back in. Blocked out towards McCarthy. Centre, 25 yards out, crowded out by 2. And now Blackburn want to try and come on the break here. Through ball supplied. Hull City's defence split wide open. Doherty, Ohashi is free at the back, but Doherty with the shot went alone. Scuffed it to the near post. Goal kick it is. Coyle was galloping back, might have done just enough to put him off, but it was a weak effort in the end. Drame looks like he's got cramp on the far side. Blackburn should have done better, perhaps should have scored 0-0.
Yeah, all from us being on the attack. It come out to McCarthy and everybody's expecting him to strike it first time. As soon as he has a touch, got closed down by 2 Blackburn players, then they're on a counter-attack, 3 against 2, then it soon came to 2 against 1. As the ball come out to the right hand side, John Egan's got a decision to make. Does he go over and close him down and leave his man? No, he stayed. Very experienced defender. He stayed. He thought they were going to come over. He dropped his shoulders if he was. That took then the Blackburn player just a yard out wide. Doing all that time, Coyle is worked ever so hard to get back in there, and a sliding challenge just as he's about to pull the trigger. So great defending by Coyle and his attitude for getting back, and John Egan for not coming over and making it easy for the Blackburn to sort out between themselves and try pass the keeper.
More drinks for a trio on this near side touchline for Hull City. Coyle, Slater and Joseph, whilst Drame gets a bit of treatment. Now if they wanted to be extra careful here and take no chances, Matty Jacob could come on and Coyle could then slide back over to the right hand side.
They're going to do something like that.
There is conversations being had and there is going to be a change. It does look like Jacob is about to be introduced, the man who saved Hull City in the third round encounter against Birmingham with the equaliser.
Haven't seen him for a while, have we?
Been out on loan at Reading and then coming to an end after the first half of the season. One of those players that has always been around and has always asked the question of getting into the first team.
Good attitude, 100%.
He's got a great mentor for the second half of the season once Giles comes back to being fit. The way that he swings the ball in. Jacob will be coming on and Drame will be making his way off, and I have to say after the first 45 minutes we were really critical
gone down
of
and brought him
Drame
off myself, but the second half of the first game, I'm going to say, the second half of the game has been outstanding.
How concerned do you think Sergei Kirivich might be now at the fact that Crooks has gone, JB's gone, Drame now making his way off the pitch?
He won't think about that until after the game, but yeah, we'll see how severe they are. It's probably a lot of just tiredness, tired legs, little aches, little knocks here and there. Obviously Crooks in the game, well, in the warm-up, you wouldn't have thought that would be long-term stuff. Probably just a niggle that he felt something and just protected him.
Yeah, Drame hobbling over and taking his seat in the dugout rather than JB, who went straight down the tunnel early in the day when he came off after 9 minutes. Hull City have a throw-in in the Blackburn half. First chance for Matty Jacob to get his sphere of influence on the game with the ball in his hands. Plays it to McCarthy, who drops it back towards Hughes. Hughes will go back to Phillips. We've played 112 minutes here at the MKM Stadium. Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0 in this all-championship encounter. As We see Lewis Miller lifting the ball forward up towards halfway. Hashi trying to get it down and getting Blackburn moving. Baraji now trying to inject a bit of pace. McCarthy's going to block him off as Coyle.
McCarthy done brilliant there, hasn't it?
Helped out then by the captain. Sandwiched him. But good reading of the game from McCarthy since he's come on. He's into the build-up play now and he's fed the ball to Jacob. Fresh legs past halfway, he strides. Blackburn see a man go down and then a push on Jacob brings a free kick. 35 yards from goal, left of the D.
Yeah, I think we got away with that because I think there was a push on earlier on one of the Blackburn defenders that went to ground. Referee didn't see it because it was beyond him.
Chance for a breather for those Blackburn defenders.
Come at Burnley morning again.
Always does.
His arms.
Always does.
Come on, Ollie. Put it to bed, mate.
Will he be picked out by Hadjimetovic, who's got his hands on hips at the moment? Coyle is a close option, about 6 yards.
Got this blind side.
Right, but then another one here with Slater into the area. Low ball played in and turned behind. And that one just drops for a throw in rather than a corner.
Yeah, the blind side was on it. Did well there, saw it quick.
Slater's been energetic, as you would expect, since coming off the bench, and has tried to get up into the attack as Jacob has the ball in hand and everyone is making their way towards the box until Slater breaks away and it's dropped in short. Slater now to Jacob, can't wrap his boot around it, and that's going to drop harmlessly behind Tuff's goal. 0-0 as we tick by 5 p.m. as well. Should have been off air by now, but we're nowhere near finding out between these two who's going to be in the hat for the last 32. As Lewis Miller, the Blackburn captain, ties his bootlaces and makes his way into his starting position. 6.5 to go. 0-0.
I'm still guaranteeing you a goal, aren't I? Do you believe me, Fletch?
I always believe.
Have you lost belief in me?
I always believe in Mystic Swanee. Question is, where is it coming from?
I can't tell you that.
Egan's given away a free kick just inside his own half. He caught Hashi and he will try and get this down moving quickly, but Gardner Hickman I think just wants a few more in green shirts up the pitch. Looks like they're going to be a bit more direct. They force McBurney back.
They're all gone up. It's only the lad that's taken it that stayed back.
Yep. Might be thinking about the second prize of a corner, but Hull City equal to it, built a very high line, a good 3 or 4 yards away from that edge of the penalty area. Phillips barking away as Gardner Hickman fizzes one to the left of the box. A couple of players go down in it, but still alive for Blackburn, who cross in, and it's gone behind Phillips, but flag up for offside on this near side, and now a little bit of pushing and shoving. Coyle I think it was getting involved there. Coyle was the one squaring up, and I think it was to his old teammate as well. Sean McLaughlin was involved in that moment, and they almost went nose to nose.
Just asking how he's doing, that's all. Fletch.
Macca just making sure if any new nice restaurants have opened in the city that they can reacquaint after the game. As Phillips booms it down the middle, McBurney leaps for it. Slater in hot pursuit to pick up the loose ball, which drifts out to this near side touchline. Doherty caught late, and that will be a free kick. As the big yelp that we could hear from up here in the upper west stand, and Slater, after some deliberation by the referee, gets a yellow card.
Time to think about it. I'm not sure it was a yellow, but I think his reaction after, if he'd have just run off, he might have got away with it, but he looked back and said something to him. Might just asked if he was okay. There's nice people out there, aren't there?
There are nice people out there.
Nice people up here, Fletch. Well, there's me and you. Don't know about Jim.
I was not expecting that to go in that direction.
I want to be fair, just waking him up, keeping him on his toes. He knows I love him.
Give him some of this blanket as Tuff will play the ball down the middle, flicked by Baraji, and then a generous and casual header by Hughes towards Matty Jacob, who just slices the ball into the left back position out of play here for a throw in past the technical area. And what is a very sombre and quiet MKM Stadium at the moment, almost feeling like they sense that penalties are inevitable, but there's still 3.5 minutes to go, plus whatever stoppage time is added on for the injury of Cody Drame. As now we see Carl Joseph on the ball, just inside his own half, up to halfway with McBurney, feeds it back towards Slater. Gardner-Hickman went down, he then lifts the ball up whilst on his back and tries to flick it through, won back by Hull City as McBurney loses his footing, trying to play in Joseph, and now Blackburn down the right hand side. This should stay in play. Doherty with a low ball fizzed in, and then sweeping up is John Egan, out for a throw in Blackburn's way with less than 3 minutes of extra time to go. Peter Swan.
Yeah, it's getting that close now. You don't want anybody to make that mistake, do you? Why you come all this way, you might as well go all the way. You don't want a mistake to be made.
Who's going to gamble the most to try and get their team over the line? As Lewis Miller, ball in hand, nobody offering the short option for Blackburn, who have put basically everyone of an outfield persuasion in the area. As Gardner-Hickman joins them, thrown in towards the front of the 6-yard box. Slater heads it away and it lands with Akintola. Has Joseph got the feet over Ohashi to get there? The answer is no. The Japanese international manages to turn Blackburn around, and Gardner-Hickman in a right midfield position just turns away from Slater, delivers the cross. Nobody in green on the end of it. Simple one for Egan really, and Akintola gets away from Ohashi, who kicks out. Advantage offered, and away go Hull City with Hadjimetovic, who stumbles to the ground. It's going to be brought back, a very long advantage, and then Gardner-Hickman plays piggyback with Hadjimetovic while he's on the floor.
I don't know if Emir tried playing the pass there, or it was a bit of a skill, like a...
I think someone took the bones out of his legs and he wobbled to the floor.
It looked
to
that
be
way,
honest.
didn't it? If he was trying to do a little trick, or he just went to play the ball and missed it, and then ended up falling on it. But we've got a free kick 10 yards inside their half. We've got everybody on the edge of their box. Come on.
119th minute.
This would be nice.
It would be very special from a Hull City persuasion if they can finally end this long hoodoo of not winning in a cup game of 11 matches. Louis Coyle sends one quite flat into the area, and the goalkeeper watched it all the way and prizes 2 hands on the ball. It's a bit of an anticlimactic moment, as I think bits of paper coming out now to find the lists for the penalties. If we see that as Blackburn play long, she's going to trickle out of play for a throw-in rather than a goal kick. Coyle couldn't keep it in.
30 seconds, believe.
One chance, that's all it takes.
I know you're losing faith in me. You might have lost it an hour ago, but trying to be optimistic.
I think the first 15 minutes have told the story really of what we've witnessed this afternoon.
It has got better as the game's gone on. It's got more exciting.
Play with a little bit of a tweak, I think, there from Blackburn's point of view. It was Henriksen struggling. Haven't really seen too much of him, given he's been one of the most attacking players on the team sheet for the visitors this afternoon. Valu and Ishmael saying as well ahead of this game that the away performance in the league was probably the best they've seen this season, but certainly nowhere near their best today. There'll be just the 1 minute of added time. 1 more minute then, and then it will be decided by spot kicks as Matty Jacob wins the header. It went off the back of him, and Charlie Hughes on the right side of the box is able to just turn. And then flat-footed Matty Jacob invites Blackburn with one last chance, then throw in, and that's just a lapse in concentration there from the substitute.
I think they're both to blame there. I think Hughes played the part in it as well.
Does that mean Hull City have used up all their time to maybe get forward, as Miller throws the ball into the box? Jacob makes amends and heads it, flicked on by Hadjimetovic 30 yards from goal. Blackburn try and return it into the box, and cleared by Hadjimetovic. McBurney trapping the ball. There's advantage offered as McCarthy strides past halfway. 2 in the attack ahead of him. Akintola down the middle, comes now towards Coyle, crosses from deep, looking for Joseph, headed down by Blackburn. Jacob didn't expect the ball to come to him, he had a man on his back, and there is the full-time whistle. We're going the distance, Peter Swan. It's penalties.
Yeah, I think it deserved it in the end. Like I said, both teams have given it a great go in the extra time. Itself, we've got stronger and stronger. We've just had that clinical final ball, or that touch. The best part come from when the McBurney header, and then the shot straight after. So it's probably fair play to Blackburn. The young kids have given it a right go. they'd be delighted with that, with Blackburn, but we just didn't have that bit of quality when needed, so it's resulted in a penalty shootout. Let's hope we've got that to get us in the act for tomorrow night.
Hull City have had plenty of penalty shootouts in recent times. They haven't gone their way. Can look change now here at the MKM Stadium. These two championship sides cannot be separated, and after 120 minutes, unbelievably, based on what we've seen from Hull City this season, not a single goal in the game. Full time, Hull City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0.
Fletch, thank you very much for that. We will have the penalties shortly here on Humberside Sport Live from BBC Radio Humberside. Gabby Roslin and the Make a Difference show will follow that. We're obviously over our time. We should have been off air at 5, but obviously the way this game has panned out. An interesting stat. Thank you to Charlie, who gets in touch, Swanee, who says this is the first game since City played Plymouth in March 2025, so 36 games, that there hasn't been a shot on goal by the visiting team or the opposition team against Hull City. That kind of illustrates...
Well done, Charlie.
So, yeah, thank you, Charlie.
Charlie, try and go out a bit more, mate. It's a great start, though.
But that kind of illustrates, doesn't it, Swanee, just the way this game has gone, the way this game has felt.
Yeah, like I say, I don't think we're ever in danger of getting beat, because like I say, we looked comfortable and they didn't have that quality, but they had the work rate, and like I say, they got themselves, let's say, higher up the field, especially in the first half. They were playing more in our half than we played in theirs. But like I said, as the game got longer, we got stronger and you saw our better players performing better, but we were already in that rut then where we couldn't, struggling to create anything, and that's how longer it went. It was us going to, they weren't going to score. They could play all night then, and they still won't score if we took players off. But it's fair play to them. Take it out to Blackburn, like I say, that young kids that's given themselves an opportunity to get themselves, like I say, maybe their naming lights.
We talked about Dylan Phillips playing this game, but before the game started, he's played 2 games now for Hull City, and both have ended in penalty shootouts.
And what was the result in the first one?
Let's move on from that. It was the Wrexham game in the summer.
You were starting the negativity, Jim. Don't be bringing me into it now.
As you say, Blackburn obviously don't have the same level of experience that City do. Will that count in City's favour? A bit more gamesmanship and experience?
Yeah, it can do. Yeah, of course it can do. We've got the experience. It's whether they keep their head. Like saying, it's the youthness. There's no fear in there in the young kids. They'll just probably go up and just pick the corner and just smash it. But then obviously you don't know what's going through the nerves in the penalty shootouts or in the players. It's a massive responsibility on their heads. And there's only 6,000 here, but it's what it could lead to.
Yeah, the prize is a 4th round draw here on BBC Radio Humberside, which already includes Grimsby Town. Will it include the Tigers? We're about to find out. This game has gone to penalties. The 2 sets of the players are now in the centre circle. Swanee?
I don't think Serge watches penalties, I believe. Did he not do an interview say he don't watch penalties?
I think you're right, yes. Yeah, Mike asked him about a penalty recently,
yeah, and he said
he hadn't actually seen it because he doesn't like to watch them. James Fletcher, what have you seen?
I could see Sergei Yakirovich actually making his way right down towards the corner flag at the moment. I'm pretty sure that's him.
He's got his air conditioning on in his car, he's getting off. He's probably going to listen to us.
Where's he going? He's, unless
that's not him, sure.
That can't be him. It looks like him.
Fletch, come on, you've got one job. You're looking at the wrong person, man.
Wearing same trainers, same coat, hood up, just like Sergei Yakirovich has been all day. Turns out it's just a ball boy.
Sorry about this.
Well, this bodes well for the penalty shootout. Let me hand you to it. Can Hull City find a way into the 4th round? It has gone to penalties. We're about to find out here on BBC Radio Humberside. Commentary of this penalty shootout from James Fletcher and Swanee.
Well, here we go then. Penalty shootout once more. Quite a lot of the fans making their way down the east stand side towards the south end, which is where these penalties will be taken to decide if Hull City will make it through to the FA Cup 4th round or not. Sergei Yakirovich, arms folded in the technical area. He is watching as Ohashi for Blackburn gets the shootout underway with a stutter, and Phillips makes the save to his right hand side. The biggest roar of the afternoon is for Phillips, getting his hand on the ball for the first time. And Ohashi can't give Blackburn an early advantage.
And there's still no goals. Great save. Easy out for him. Picked the right way. What the best penalty. Captain Coyle. Come on, Coyley, lad.
Yeah, Coyle is going up. the captain leading by example. Involved in the last 6 cup matches for Hull City, and he is up first with a right foot to try and beat Toff in the Blackburn goal. Here he goes, Louis Coyle. Oh, and Blackburn make the save as well, this time to the right and 2 hands on it, and it remains 0-0, Peter Swan.
And still no goals. Like I said, that is very similar to their penalty. Other side, same height. You pick the right way, you're saving it. We'd save that if it's going the right way.
So Bahaji, who was dropped from the starting 11 this afternoon in that rotation of fitness with his long sleeves and black gloves, is coming forward next.
Slow walk up, it's confidence.
Yeah, normally when they're slower, that to me always signifies confidence. You've been across that white line, you would know, Peter Swan.
Yeah, I sprinted up when I took mine.
Let's see what he does here. Right-footed one this, and it's saved again!
And still no goals! Oh my days.
Have you brought breakfast?
Have they boarded them up, these goals or something? Great save, that one. That was a half-decently taken penalty. Full stretch.
The barn door that's in front of that goal is wearing fluorescent yellow, and it's Dylan Phillips who's made the first 2 saves of the shootout, and Kyle Joseph will now go forward to try and put Hull City in pole position after 2 penalties each. He didn't take a penalty against Wrexham. Here he goes now. He was subbed off, right-footed into the net.
There we go. There we go, nice and easy. Keeper goes to the right this time. He slides it to the left-hand side.
1-0 Hull City then after 2 penalties. Statue-like the technical area of Blackburn Rovers at the moment. But the substitutes of Hull City now, arms on each other's shoulders. Louis Coyle, just a trio of players along with Akintola and Egan coming out to clasp hands with Joseph as Hull City have an early advantage in the shootout. Gardner Hickman then is going to go next for Blackburn
Rovers. It's done well
Rovers.
for them, to be fair. He's had a good game.
Straight
run up.
It is a straight run up. Right-footed by nature. He may change course as Phillips behind his goal line. Can he make it 3 out of 3? No, is the answer. Gardner Hickman, right-footed, sends it into the left-hand corner, and temporarily at least Blackburn are back level at a goal apiece as Gardner Hickman heads over to his goalkeeper to give him some encouragement as McBurney now comes forward.
Come on, Ollie, lad. Come on.
Not really had much of a sniff in the game. His header, which was well saved by Toff. 7 goals in 9 cup games. He scored in the quarter-final against Blackburn when he was a Sheffield United man. Kenny took his penalty away to give Hull City that lead once again here at the midpoint of the shootout. Takes his run up back towards that 18-yard line and runs up, and it's very casually done down the middle from Ollie McBurney. Ice in the veins. 2-1 Hull City after 3 penalties.
That's either a great penalty or a lucky penalty. I'm going to go for a great penalty. He's waiting for the keeper to move and just rolled it down the middle, which takes a lot of doing. Split decision making as you're just making the last bit of contact with the ball. And sometimes, I think we asked him last time, did he keep the eye on the ball or the keeper? And he said he kept the eye on the ball, but obviously peripheral vision will see that he's moved that way, and he just rolled it down the middle. Not much pace. Great penalty.
A former City hero's up next, Sean McLaughlin. Now, he missed in Hull City's last FA Cup shootout back at Stevenage in round 2, which sent the League One club through. Now left-footed, what will he do here? Up he steps, and he slammed it into the top left-hand corner. That's probably the pick of the bunch.
That is a great penalty, that. 2 keepers out saving that, are they?
No.
Pace, bend, top corner, keeper got wrong way.
A left-footed centre-half of old for a left-footed centre-half of new, as Charlie Hughes is going forward now to take Hull City's 4th penalty. If he misses, we're effectively into sudden death immediately, but if he scores, Blackburn will then have to convert theirs to keep themselves in this FA Cup shootout.
He's not left-footed, by the way, Hughes.
I beg your pardon, right-footed he's going to strike. Here he comes, Hughes.
Oh.
I'm glad he hit it with his right foot, straight into the top right-hand corner. And now Blackburn have to score with their next kick. And Aidan Doherty is going to be the one. The youngster is coming forward.
Look at McBurney clapping him.
They're loving it at the moment. They have cause to smile at the moment. He's such a character.
He's mint, isn't he?
Doherty.
Great penalty. The last two centre halves that took him there, McLaughlin and Hughes. Best two.
Now then.
Come on.
Doherty versus
Come on,
Phillips. Save 2. Doherty has to score to keep his team in the FA Cup. Up he steps, and he's done his job, sending it into the left-hand corner. So it rests with David Akintola. If he scores, Hull City end their wait for a cup victory. If he misses, we go on in the shootout. Peter Swan.
Did he take one at Wrexham?
I think he did. 5 from 5 in shootouts.
He has.
And he's been involved in 8 shootouts in the past.
5 and 5.
5 and 5. Can he make it 6 in 6 to send Hull City through to the FA Cup 4th round? Right-footed. Here he comes. Akintola sends Hull City on.